entrepreneurship, the topic? Should I put it? Your photo will also be there because you are the only speaker. Who else is there? Yeah, you are the only speaker. You are the only one.
Okay.
So I'll put the title here only.
Put the title in there. Yeah.
That's better. Because if there were two more speakers, it would be a problem.
Oh, but there is my colleague came in and she said she's speaking as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
Then I'll make a separate slide on your presentation only. I'll insert one slide. Let me see. Should I put another slide? Instead of having yours. Let me not spoil your presentation.
Oh, there is a slide there. There's a slide already there that says
where?
I think it was there.
Of the topic?
Yes, there's a slide there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blooming the ultimate. This is the slide?
No,
Day-3.
there was.
Day-3.
Yeah.
This is yours.
Yes.
This is the one?
Yes, that's the one.
And that's the other one.
Yeah.
Huh?
So
This is the other one.
So it's just one slide. Somebody else.
So inside. Entrepreneurship as a main tool. That's it. So when you open your slide, I will just do it. Your presentation is at minimized.
Okay.
I'll just get it up. Let people come in. So it's, how do you say? Neslyn. Neslyn WhatsApp. Okay?
Just Neslyn.
Okay. Okay. Dr. Neslyn.
Dr. Neslyn. Easier.
So you have done a doctorate in which subject?
Health promotion.
Health promotion. Okay. And
I
now you
have a tapestry of experience.
My God.
Yes.
So you're from the UK.
I'm from
Which
the
place
UK.
in the UK?
Kingston upon Thames.
Huh?
Kingston upon Thames.
Okay.
So
You're also one of the
it's
speakers? Okay. So your name?
Ashwini.
Okay. We have only one speaker. Item or so do I do?
Good morning. You are guest from Shizutsu? Sorry? Shizutsu guest?
No, I don't know.
Our
Come,
moderator.
sit.
And no, I just need to know who's organizing here.
Yeah,
So,
me.
You only?
Yeah.
Only,
My name is Gurpreet.
Gurpreet, okay.
Yeah.
Around 11 the session starts. I just need to know if you have received the names of these two. Rejuvenation and Rejuvenation. So that others I can go to 9:45 to 10:45. 11 to 2 hours.
Okay, beautiful.
And this is some other thing.
This must be yesterday. I think this is one change. So CM3, the power of the P is this? It's a mind.
Challenges. अच्छा CM2
CM2 बगल में है. वो चेंज हो गए अभी सारा वो चेंज हुआ है चेंज हुआ is what she just gave.
You got it?
Okay. Just go to CM2 and find out.
Thank you.
Just keep checking it.
Have you got your photograph? So that
You
we
know,
can
I told Neha, she said get it started pehle.
तुम लोग तो आएंगे.
Then I'll go.
it's got on your email?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I send it right now?
8:30 to 9:30.
अभी कितना 9:45
9:45 है, but we have to start at 8:30 ना, it's already 8:45.
Oh, let's. Okay.
8:30, right?
Do you need my picture as well?
No, not necessary. I was trying to write your name because how to write it now.
Sure. I'll start it for you.
I think she'll be able to do it quickly. Can you do that?
Can you do
Can you
that?
insert your photograph and all how?
But it's on my email. Can I send it on?
Just see if it is connected. I don't think it's connected.
You don't have it on a pen drive or something?
No.
You can, okay.
And I
Or
have to
just
ask
put
the
down
person.
your name.
Mm-hmm.
Put down your name at least.
Put your name at least over here because how to insert? There's a picture, so it's not coming. That's the cursor. वो बंदे को बुला के देखी गए को कि भैया
हाँ.
इसमें नेट भी लगा.
Exactly.
मैंने कल भी CM2 में भी कराया था. बंदे को बुला के better send some messages. See. How to remote audience.
आज 2 टॉपिक्स मर्ज नहीं किए हैं क्या, जैसे कल कर लिया था?
करने से अच्छा होता.
हाँ.
That is a better option. Just change the topic also.
Maybe I'll just do it.
Problems, they've not put the topic only on the board. That's what I went to check. Busy writing on WhatsApp. How people will go away. There's nothing going on. They'll think.
Yes.
That happened to me.
I just still, who the hell is going to put this over here? मैं यहाँ WhatsApp पे डाले जा रही हूँ बार-बार. People must be coming and walking away.
Yes, yes, thank you. Hello, how are you? Thank you for being here. You are speaking. Yes,
Everything's moved around.
See, my WhatsApp response is bringing
No, because everything's moved around, so we have a hard time
no,
beautiful. You're wearing one of my favorite colors.
Green.
So I'm very attracted.
Excellent, excellent. So are you Neslyn?
Yes, both of us and Andrew.
Hi. Nice to meet you. Hi, I'm
Happy
Sandy.
to marry Falsa.
Yes.
Nice to
Okay,
meet you. I'm
yes.
Sandy.
Anshu.
Nice to meet you, Ashwini.
Yes.
Excellent. I look forward to this.
Right, you're an entrepreneur, of course.
Yes, of course.
Of course, of course.
And where are you business? In India? Delhi?
Should we start? Or
And
should we
Yes.
Should we start? Huh?
Yes.
People will walk in because she's gone to gather the topic written. But then because it might be killing on me, but otherwise, lack of time. So, would you start, Nancy?
I will start.
Huh? Okay, that's wonderful.
How long have we got?
We have time till 9:30.
So we divide that time
Yes.
between us equally.
Yeah,
so,
equally.
So,
So it's already 8:37. If you want to wait 3 minutes, that will be 8:40.
yes.
If we wait 3 minutes more, so 8:40 to 9:30 will be 40 minutes.
So 20 minutes.
Hey, not 50.
I'm speaking just for 5-6 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. Then let's wait
Okay.
for 3 more minutes.
Okay.
Is the audience ready to wait 3 more minutes for people to come in?
Sure.
Sure, 3 minutes only. We'll wait, huh? Some administrative problem. They have not put the topic on the board, so people are just watching the blank board and going back.
Yeah.
So me, I
Or
put.
following this.
So then I put on WhatsApp, and some people followed on this, and then they are coming and inquiring.
You know what happened to me yesterday? I was meant to be speaking on reinvention, and of course on the paper it was CM10. So of course I went to CM10, and the computer was already set up, and there was a volunteer in there. So waited for 10 minutes, looked outside, no one there, looked around. So after 20 minutes, I thought this isn't right. So came up. Cut a long story short, it was reorganized. People were in here in a different room, and the three speakers who found themselves in there divided the time. So by the time I got in there, they said, we've already divided the time. So I should have been speaking for 15 minutes. I spoke for 5 minutes.
That is great. That's okay. Huh?
Mic is fine. So start.
Yeah.
Good morning to the lovely audience. We begin our new day with new energies on entrepreneurship as the main tool in projects that will change the world. And we have two wonderful speakers. One is Dr. Neslyn and the other is Anshu Anand. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this wonderful session. Good day to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Nelson, please have the stage.
Good morning. How wonderful for you to be here so early this morning. So let's raise the energy. How possible is it for you to come forward? Just come and be near. I'd like to feel your energy, please. And so entrepreneurism as a tool that will save the world. Thank you for the beautiful introduction that you have given, and let's just move on. So here you are. Most of you, you're all entrepreneurs? Absolutely. So you already know what I'm talking about. As entrepreneurism, one of the main things that entrepreneurs do is that we solve problems and we jump in with a passion. Do you mind if I give you a little bit of story? Okay, so my name is Neslyn, and I have a tapestry of experience. I started off as a nurse, and I spent most of my early years in the health service as a nurse midwife, health visitor, which is a public health nurse. Then I went into health promotion. I have always been interested in health promotion. My purpose here on this planet is very much around healing and empowerment. And so throughout the trend of my journey, whatever I do, it's really focused around developing empowerment. And so I noticed that through health promotion, the deficits that there were in terms of young people understanding the key elements that they need to be focused on in order to have healthy lives. Cut a long story short, moving on from there, having spent much time on school, health, education projects, I then moved on to retrain as a teacher. And my purpose of retraining as a teacher was mainly because I wanted to be even more impactful around health within the education sphere. I went back into health services for a short time and then came out in 1989 as an entrepreneur. In 1989, when I came out as an entrepreneur, I noticed that leadership was not being given the key focus that it needed. And so, with the fire in my belly for developing leadership, I developed a leadership demonstration program for the government, for the health service side of the government. In England, we call it, in the UK, we call it the NHS. So for the NHS executive. So I developed this demonstration program and I said, we can be more empowering if we are addressing leadership. The government gave me £250,000 for this demonstration program. And this demonstration program had an impact in the sense that a number of universities took the model and it laid the foundations for the NHS current Leadership Academy. Why am I sharing this story with you? We don't need to go and learn anything else. We don't need to go and do anything differently. Step into your power, step into your passion, and make the difference that there needs to be done. So when we begin to look at the issues around the key areas that the world is struggling with at the moment, let me hear from you. From your perspective, what are some of the issues that you think about?
For entrepreneurship?
Yes. So, for example, yesterday we heard about the passionate speech that we had about poverty. If we were to address poverty and enable every family to be economically viable, what a difference it would make in the world.
Yeah.
So you mean problems that should be solved?
Yes, problems that can be solved.
There's so many problems around the environment.
Problems around the environment.
Oceans, water, air, renewable energy, waste. There's so much.
There's so much. And
go on and on.
We can go on and on. And each and every one of us can make an impact from where we are. So, how are you making an impact in terms of your entrepreneurship? Let's hear. What's your focus in entrepreneurship?
So, I teach. Hi, my name is Anna. I'm from Sweden. I teach business to small business owners. And I teach online business. And what I see as a problem is disconnection in the world and separation. And in business we can create connection. So that is what I see.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I teach leadership to new business owners and fast-growing companies. And what I find is that they want to make sure that they are making a difference in the world, and they want to make sure that they stay sustainable so that they can continue. It's not just the passion, it's the business part of it. So they can stay in business to make sure that their passion reaches the people that they want.
And you gave your beautiful presentation recently around how leadership and the different dimensions and how we communicate effectively, and you were just so wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So I'm telling my impact.
Yes, your impact. Because we're all making an impact.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Joanne Hamilton, and I recently started a social enterprise. It's called Secret Birds. And Secret Birds, we are an emerging market, membership-based entrepreneurial community for women and girls. So in terms of the impact that we're making, it's twofold. We're helping women in the pre-startup and startup phases of their businesses in emerging markets. And the second half is we are working with girls in disadvantaged communities, aged 8 to 13, to teach them entrepreneurial skills. Because of the of the unemployed youth in the world, 600 million of them are girls. So girls will never get access to an education. It won't happen to these girls. So I know there are many social enterprises that push for educating girls, which is very important. But what we're saying is that entrepreneurship is also another tool that can help girls who will never ever get to go to school to build skills to improve their lives and their lives of their communities. So that's our small impact.
Sister, I want to dance for you. Can you imagine?
Thank you.
That's just such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful project. So, our sister from France.
Can you come here and speak, because the camera will be focusing more over here. Please, please.
Yes, it's good.
I am Marie-France Cardinal-Duréo, and I am living in Paris. I am actually retired, but I was in the head of the documentation center of Museum French Ministry, and entrepreneurship with ICOM is a International Council of Museum, and she was based in Paris, but she's a worldwide organization who promote museum in the world and defense against illicit excusez-moi, les ventes sell arts illicit. And I don't entrepreneur actually, but I want to have eventually another second chance.
Brilliant, brilliant, wonderful. So we have a speaker and two speakers. Okay, so the speakers. So the point is, we can all make an impact. We just need to engage with our passion and recognizing that entrepreneurship is about solving problems. So start from where you're at, and you can make a difference. The wonderful experience that we've had here with developing leaders and the social enterprise that will support girls to have an education. How absolutely wonderful. So did you know that by 2020, female entrepreneurs will be leading more than 5 million projects? Yes? Should be moving with me. Absolutely. Okay, so I'll give you the quote there. So by 2020, yes, absolutely, he needs to focus with me. By 2018, women entrepreneurs will be responsible for creating 5.5 million new jobs. Wow. It's a lot. So we should be dancing, and and think about the female energy. Think about the female energy. The female energy, we already have that. It is about creation. We can create. We can create with our brothers. We can create with our communities at large. It is just so important for us to identify a need. And when you identify a need, we have our business advisors who will support us. Don't worry about the how. Don't worry about the when. Be driven by the why. Have the vision, and when you hold the vision, you will set the intention and you will attract the people to you to ensure that you are able to move on with it. It is just so important that we take on board. So, according to the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, there are over 1.26 million women-owned companies around the world. How many of you aspire to own your own, who have not yet owned your own companies, aspire to own your company? You can do so.
I own my company.
Yes. Yeah. Just get on with it. And support others. Support other women. I think this is the important thing is when we support other women to make an impact. Over the years, I have supported more than 500 women to actually develop their own businesses and make an impact at a community level. And that's why tomorrow I will be one of the awardees of a Woman of the Decade in leadership and social change. Just step in there because, you know, there are so many women who actually want to make a difference and sometimes don't have the confidence. Why don't they have the confidence? Because they feel that they are not able to get on and do it. They don't have the role models. So, you know, entrepreneurism is about deal making. We can make deals. We can support others. Let's meet. I have 7 minutes left. So let's think about some of the big problems. The big problems around education. We have a sister here who is addressing educational issues. We have big problems around poverty. And, you know, once you support a family to feed themselves and to have economic activity, then things get sorted. Education gets sorted. One of the most important things is getting nutrition. And I am so passionate about that because in my experience as a health promotion officer and as a teacher, I recognize that when children come to school hungry, they are unable to learn. That makes common sense, doesn't it? You know, it doesn't need rocket science to say that children actually need to be fed in order to learn. Because if the energy is low, you can't concentrate. If you're hungry, you can't concentrate. It makes sense. Climate change, I'm not going to go around all of those. But, you know, if we can support people to have good employment and create their own economy. So, what is the sort of change that you and I can make within the 21st century? Just think about it. What is the change that you and I can make? You know, be the change that you want to be in the world. Step into your power and just get on with it. You can change the world. The important thing is that there are risks. Of course, there are risks. But when we begin to think about the risk, with support is there. Support is there from our business advisors. Won't go there because we have a presentation from a business advisor. You don't have to do it alone. The important thing is to hold the intention, have the idea. Optimize your time. So focus on what matters. You know, you can make a lot of money in the world, and money is very important because it enables you to do good things and it enables you to fulfill needs. But you can make a lot of money in the world from things that doesn't matter. But you will never change the world from not focusing on what matters. I'll say that again. You'll never change the world by not focusing on what matters. So the important thing is to be very clear about what matters. And you know, what matters, you can actually make an impact. So ask yourself some very important questions about why am I doing what I'm doing? Where are the opportunities? And certainly do seize the opportunities. If you don't seize the opportunities, then you won't make a difference. Ask yourself the question, what is it that is driving me? Why do you have the fire in your belly? You know, because when you have a fire in your belly, it is actually saying to you that something is important and it really matters. And think about what is it that makes your heart sing, because this is again engaging with your purpose, engaging with your passion. What is it that gives you joy? I never feel as if I work a day in my life because I am just so engaged and so passionate about what I do that I just know that I need to rest occasionally, but I'm not working as such. You know, I am in the flow. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. So, unless you are enjoying what you're doing, then you will never be able to sustain it. And there are tools out there. There are tools out there to support you to make the change that you want. So, in respect to the other speakers, I am going to end it now. I want to say to you that I can connect with you. There are a number of books that I have written around leadership, and they are on Amazon. So if you go onto Amazon.com and type in Neslyn Watson Druee, you will see the range of books that I have written. It's been a joy being in here with you this morning and to warm up and to start off. Go out there and make a difference. I will just leave you with my final quote. Vision without action will pass the time. Action without vision will, again, just pass the time. But action with vision will change the world. So take action on your vision, whatever that is. You don't have to go and learn anything new. You already have your skills, your capacities, and just step in there and make that difference that you're here to make. Wonderful. Thank you.
On that positive buzz which Dr. Neslyn has said, I will give the mic to Ashwini.
We'll take her just a few minutes. He will connect the internet. She wants to show you a movie. Small clipping, movie clip. Yeah. So
I want to first emphasize on why do we need to bring change in the world.
Start
Yeah. ठीक है भैया.
So while we're waiting, what new ideas? Well, you can talk because it's your space now.
Go for it. You're connected.
You're not connected.
Go ahead.
So while we're waiting, so welcome to the new people who came in later on. What are your ideas around entrepreneurism that you want to make an impact in the world?
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Druee.
Why don't you take the mic down a bit?
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Druee. Sure, my background has been in corporate most of my life, but I did fall in love with strategy, specifically startups. I've ventured into business, and this next wave for me is about, and I'm going to sound like a hypocrite, authenticity.
Yes.
I'm saying I sound like a hypocrite because specifically in the area of natural hair for black women in South Africa, it's a trend that is now finally hitting our shores. I've been ashore for many years. It doesn't show today, but it's something that I've been following since I've been traveling and living abroad for many years. Excuse me. And I find that a lot of South Africans are now following that trend, but they don't know what the hair is capable of. So I get stopped every day when I wear my own hair out, and people are saying, "How do you get your hair like that?" They don't know what they're able to do with it. So I think there's a lot of products that are coming in, a lot of them being imported from places like the US, but they last for 2 or 3 months on our shelves because there's an education aspect missing. So I'm beginning to penetrate that. Yeah?
Brilliant.
Hi, I am Fatima Babakura. I'm currently the founder and creative director for Leather Luxury Handbags brand. And basically what I do is, my way of changing the world is by being able to employ people to, create jobs. I'm actually from Nigeria, and my studio is currently in Nigeria. So what I do is, I notice that there are very many local artisans who have not been celebrated. What I do now is I have them make the bags. I created a studio, pay them properly so they could, help their families. And with that, I have been running the business for up to 4 years now. It's been successful. And yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to do, celebrate them and let them know that what they're doing is actually very important. Because in Nigeria, unfortunately, people do not value these things simply because it's made in Nigeria. However, if you were to go to Italy and buy a handbag, and it's the same leather, right? They would be paying more for it. So because people do not realize the value, I have decided to put it out there so people understand that the local artisans are actually capable of doing the same thing that people in Italy are doing. That's my idea.
Sisters? Gentlemen, you're a speaker.
I will.
Share your ideas.
Good morning, I'm Damayanti Sridhar from the Frederick Ebert Center. And I was interested in this session because, not from the entrepreneur point of view, but we're working in the development sector, and to see how design and innovation can be used also in the social sector to see there are various issues on which one gets stuck. We work on gender and women's empowerment, and one of the things which always comes up is that how do you change mindsets? You achieve a lot of things, and then at some point you hit this block and say, okay, this is one thing, and how does one address that? And we are always trying to look at different ways of doing it, and design thinking is one of the things which our organization has been looking at with one of the subsequent speakers over here, and also other methods like transformative change and things. So that was my interest.
So we just have the design thinking following this thing. We are having now entrepreneurship tools, and I'll pass with the internet is already working. So Anshu, back to you.
Thank you, and thank you for the introduction. It's so amazing to hear that we have everybody from the entrepreneurship background, and everyone is here to talk about how we can leverage entrepreneurship to change the world. And we live in a world where the technology is advancing at an exponential rate. Yet we still stand in a situation where there are some alarming reasons why we have to actually think about
rules. We discover the world through a textbook. For years we sit and regurgitate what we're told, tested and graded like subjects in a lab, raised not to make a difference in this world, raised to be no different. Smart enough to do our job, but not to question why we do it. So we work and work, left with no time to live the life we work for. Until a day comes when we are too old to do our job. It is here we're left to die. Our children take our place in the game. To us, our path is unique, but together we are nothing more than fuel. The fuel that powers the elite who hide behind the logos of corporations. This is their world, and their most valuable resource is not in the ground. It is us. We build their cities. We run their machines. We fight their wars. After all, money isn't what drives them. It's power. Money is simply the tool they use to control us. Worthless pieces of paper we depend on to feed us, move us, entertain us. They gave us money, and in return, we gave them the world. Where there are trees that cleaned our air, are now factories that poison it. Where there was water to drink, is toxic waste that stinks. Where animals ran free, are factory farms where they are born and slaughtered endlessly for our satisfaction. Over 1 billion people are starving, despite us having enough food for everybody. Where does it all go? 70% of the grain we grow is fed to the animals you eat for dinner. Why help the starving? You can't profit off them. We are like a plague sweeping the earth, tearing apart the very environment that allows us to live. We see everything as something to be sold, as an object to be owned. But what happens when we have polluted the last river, poisoned the last breath of air, have no oil for the trucks that bring us our food? When will we realize money can't be eaten, that it has no value? We aren't destroying the planet, we're destroying all life on it. Every year, thousands of species go extinct, and time is running out before we're next. If you live in America, there's a 41% chance you'll get cancer. Heart disease will kill 1 out of 3 Americans. We take prescription drugs to deal with these problems, but medical care is the 3rd leading cause of death, behind cancer and heart disease. We're told everything can be solved by throwing money at scientists so they can discover a pill to make our problems go away. But the drug companies and cancer societies rely on our suffering to make a profit. We think we're running for a cure, but really we're running away from the cause. Our body is a product of what we consume, and the food we eat is designed purely for profit. We fill ourselves with toxic chemicals, the bodies of animals infested with drugs and diseases. But we don't see this. A small group of corporations that own the media don't want us to. Surrounding us with a fantasy we're told is reality. It's funny to think humans once thought the Earth was the center of the universe. But then again, now we see ourselves as the center of the planet. We point to our technology and say we're the smartest. But do our computers, cars, and factories really illustrate how intelligent we are? Or do they show how lazy we become? We put this civilized mask on, but when you strip that away, what are we? How quickly we forget only within the past 100 years did we allow women to vote, allow blacks to live as equals. We act as if we're all-knowing beings, yet there's much we fail to see. We walk down the street and ignore little things, the eyes who stare, the stories they share, seeing everything as a background to me. Perhaps we fear we're not alone, that we're a part of a much bigger picture. But we fail to make the connection. We're okay killing pigs, cows, chickens, strangers from foreign lands, but not our neighbors, not our dogs or cats, those we have come to love and understand. We call other creatures stupid, yet we point to them to justify our actions. But does killing simply because we can, because we always have, make it right? Or does it show how little we've learned, that we continue to act out of primal aggression, rather than thought and compassion? One day, the sensation we call life will leave us. Our bodies will rot, our valuables recollected. Yesterday's actions will remain. Death constantly surrounds us. Still, it seems so distant from our everyday reality. We live in a world on the verge of collapse. The wars of tomorrow will have no winners. For violence will never be the answer. It will destroy every possible solution. If we all look at our innermost desire, we will see our dreams are not so different. We share a common goal, happiness. We tear the world apart looking for joy, without ever looking within ourselves. Many of the happiest people are those who own the least. But are we really so happy with our iPhones, our big houses, our fancy cars? We've become disconnected, idolizing people we've never met. We witness the extraordinary on screens, but ordinary everywhere else. We wait for someone to bring change, without ever thinking of changing ourselves. Presidential elections might as well be a coin toss. It's 2 sides of the same coin. We choose which face we want, and the illusion of choice, of change is created. But the world remains the same. We fail to realize the politicians don't serve us. They serve those who fund them into power. We need leaders, not politicians. But in this world of followers, we have forgotten to lead ourselves. Stop waiting for change, and be the change you want to see. We didn't get to this point by sitting on our asses. The human race survived not because we are the fastest or the strongest, but because we work together. We have mastered the act of killing. Now let's master the joy of living. This isn't about saving the planet. The planet will be here, whether we are or not. Earth has been around for billions of years. Each of us will be lucky to last 80. We are a flash in time, but our impact is forever.
So, we're not, all of these problems that he has pointed out here is nothing new to any of us, but I did want to point this video out, after Dr. Druee just pointed out this question, what are the changes do we need to bring about? And I think we shouldn't have to think. Pretty much everything around us needs to be changed, and we need to approach these problems as opportunities to turn things around. We need to reach out in ways we haven't done before. And yes, mobile phone, WhatsApp, FaceTime gives us ample chances to reach out to people, but we need to start reaching out to people in a different way. And this goes to people, to animals, birds, trees, the ground beneath your feet, water, the air all around us, and we just need to be kind to one another. Let me give you an example that you may very easily be able to relate to, since homelessness and bare feet beggars is something that we witness every day, at least in the city where we are right now. And this is about how another gentleman who got so deeply affected by the famine in 1974 that he had a vision to provide unsecured loan to poor people globally. His name is Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus. It took him over 17 years to prove his idea, which was contrary to any banking business. Today, his model is adopted around the world, and it is termed as microfinancing. His initiative, Grameen Bank, today has 9 million borrowers, of which 97% are women. The repayment rate is 99.6%. These people who bring about such changes in the system are like you and me. We choose to ignore or be oblivious to certain nitty-gritty of the direct environment around us. But these entrepreneurs get frustrated by it and find new business models to change the existing paradigm. Everyone here could use entrepreneurship to change the world or could support causes that are already doing it. Thank you. And speaking of, are we running out of time? Yeah. Okay. So I would just like to touch upon certain tools that entrepreneurship can be used as, and these are the components which can be approached within the entrepreneurship tool. So number one is there is a theory of change that is driven by the motive of making an impact, because you are making an impact anyway. The second is finding a market-based solution that is sustainable for the business, and it creates a systemic change, a change that is so big that it changes the system, and it is bigger than the company itself. And this is what we call progress, and that is why using your entrepreneurship skill to its full potential by creating a flawless business that thrives on its own profit, but it is also driven by solving a problem. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, the esteemed audience, I would like to tell you we are clubbing another session for you with the speakers were there in CM2. So that is about design and creativity can help to develop more sustainable products, solutions and lifestyles. So the how part they are going to take. Yes, please, I have this name, Ashwini Deshpande, is that? Right name? Ashwini Deshpande? Yes, please come in. And Dr. Moritz is Gekeler. You can also be seated here, sir, because it would be nice, then we know. How much time do we have? We have
You take on the time. I'll just do a very short exercise with everyone. Not speak
It will be
all.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So maybe I can also just tell them. Sorry. Yeah, that's better. The presentation is so good. That's right. So we will.
Good morning. I know it's a challenge to be up here early in the morning and then listen to a talk. But it's been so inspiring to hear the previous speakers that I think it's been worth it. So I'm a designer by training. I'm a graphic designer, and our session actually is about design and design thinking. But in the paucity of time, what I'm going to just do is tell you one of the most important aspects that we believe design thinking needs to imbibe. And my company is called Elephant Design, and I'm going to tell a story of elephant. And that's really what the spirit is, or how the spirit is behind all that goes on in collaborative work and also design thinking. So this is an old Indian story of 6 blind people and an elephant. So long ago, in a really small village in India, there were 6 blind people, and they were very curious by nature. And one day they heard that there is an elephant passing by. And because they were very curious, of course, they wanted to know what is this creature, and they wanted to understand. And they couldn't see. So each of them walked up to the elephant and touched a part of the creature. And each of them came back with his own knowledge, his own understanding. And the first one said, I know what an elephant is. He had touched the back of the elephant. So he said an elephant is like a really strong wall. But there was another one. He said, no, it's actually like a tree trunk, because he had touched the neck of the elephant. And the third one said, no, it's like a snake, because he had touched the tail. And the fourth one said, no, it's like a fan, because he touched the ear of the elephant. So each of them actually was very, very sure about what elephant is. And each of them wouldn't give up. So all of them started arguing. And there's actually a very famous... So Indians are very famous for being argumentative, and it started really long back. So all of them had got into this really massive argument. Nobody would give up, and each of them was so right because they had felt it. How can they be wrong? And then came a person passing by who could see and who could understand what was happening, and he said, tell me what is the problem. And they all told what they felt an elephant is, and they said, what do you say? So he said, you know what, all of you are right. Nobody is wrong. And there was kind of silence. How can it be? And he said, you know what, all of you hold a piece of the really large picture. And if each of you puts that piece, we will all sort of create the biggest picture we can. And I think that's exactly what is probably happening, not just in this room, but in this conference and around the world with this kind of a forum, that all of us have come in with our own little piece. And at some point in time, we've all felt that I know it all, I have my piece. But when we come to a place like this and put all those pieces together, I think all of us do see a bigger picture. And that's really the spirit behind the name of my company as well. And we believe design really is something that imbibes that spirit, because it's collaborative, so creative. All of us know something little, and all of us need to put those pieces together to see the big picture. So I think we are going to enjoy the rest of the conference, have a great day ahead. But this is really all I would tell right now for this morning session. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So my name is Moritz Gekeler. I'm from Germany originally, but I live here in Delhi at the moment. And as Damayanti has said before, I work also with the Stiftung on some projects. I don't really want to show you any presentations now, also because the time's running out. Maybe just 2 words to what I do, and then we do a little exercise. Okay, so to wake up in the morning. So I have a company in Germany called Druee, which is a company I like to call it for collaboration experience design. So I try to help people to collaborate better. And I know methods and I know tools that can do that. One of the methods or the approaches is called design thinking. There's something called systems thinking. There's something called games thinking. there is something called scenario thinking, futures thinking, and all these different methods I try to use to apply exactly to help organizations and groups and teams and NGOs to understand the why. Why are they working on a specific topic? And I think something that is very important to understand that why is to be curious, what has been said also before, and to also connect to each other. And that's my little exercise that I would like you to do with me. And I would ask you to stand up. Yes, please. Maybe you can do it with me in the front here. So I would like you to imagine to be back in school, on the schoolyard, because this is an exercise that I do very often in my workshops with CEOs, with school children, with everyone. And it's actually developed by a company from Copenhagen called Copenhagen Games Collective. It's a very interesting company. Look at it on the internet. And this game is called the Danish clapping game. Okay, so maybe from your school time you remember these games where you clap and do things like that. So we are going to do something like this. So please find one partner. I hope it will work.
Yes.
There's one more person here. Okay, so then you, maybe you. It works. Okay, it works. So we can do it together. Okay, perfect. So stand next to each other. I put this away.
Yeah, sure. You're loud enough.
Stand facing each other. And now together we are going to create a rhythm. Okay? Yeah. By clapping on our lap. And simultaneously. First you can watch us and then you can try. Okay? So we try to make a rhythm. And then we have 3 different options. We can move like this. We can move like this. Or like this. Okay? So we do this rhythm. And then we just decide whatever we want, how we want to move. And if this happens, by chance, that we point to the same direction, then after the clap to the lap, we have to clap our hands. Okay?
That's fun.
It's fun. So try again. First, slowly. Just everyone does his or her thing. And then go a bit faster. I like these kinds of games that you can make it faster and faster and faster. Because they have two elements. One is you connect to your partner and you connect in a different way. And that's something that I do with my teams very often. Because in teamwork, we have to connect to each other. Usually in a normal business world, we're just working. Everyone is doing his or her stuff, but we don't really connect. And doing these games, introducing these games, even in your normal daily work, can actually help. The second thing is, apparently there's no actual proof that it's a true theory, but there is the theory about the left side and the right side of the brain, right? And if you do this really quickly, this all gets mixed up. Okay? Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
We're going to have a group photo. Please come, everyone here. Let's have a group photo. Yes, can I have all the audience here? We'll have a group photo.
Yeah.
Thanks for being a lovely audience and thanks to all the speakers.
आपको तो आ जाएगा कितना टैली कहाँ की जाओगे कुछ ज़्यादा ही हो गया क्या इसका बटन बनता है चला
Wait कराना Okay, lights. Please come forward. The lights.
Yeah.
Is it good? Maybe. Yeah. Please.
I think we turned down the light now.
I'm coming back.
What are you doing?
Yes. Thank you so
much.
much.
Keep smiling.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Come back. Okay. Welcome.
In Italian?
I'd love to be in Italy, but but right now I'm very seldom. I live here in Delhi, so
You will speak rhythm.
been doing, I think autism and all that. So maybe we just stick to these two. Should be fine. Okay. I'll give him because he is very rare to catch.
Oh, Dr. Prabhu?
Yeah, because he's the chairman of the AntiAging Foundation. I think giving him more time might be a little better idea.
Okay. Otherwise, you're the main speaker?
I'm going to let him be the main speaker.
Okay, fine.
So that's how
fine.
The India International Center, including.
When is that?
That's on the 13th and 14th. That would be by invite because it's basically for the medical fraternity. I'm the only non-medical, so. Okay. Are you a doctor? What is your background?
No, I'm not a doctor. I teach theta healing. So we talk a lot about stem cell.
So you know what? I think, and come closer. Then maybe later you could have a conversation. Hello. Thanks for joining us.
Please come. Yeah. And when you have entered first, then you should be on.
You need to come closer. And the thing is, see, where they cannot talk publicly, they will say, let's meet and talk. Because there are certain things which cannot be live streaming.
I know.
So,
it's really interesting. What is that?
I've heard a lot, yes, a lot.
It's a healing through the theta.
So shall I? I think I'll call him. There's the outside.
Please call him, and I'm asking for audience, so they're putting on WhatsApp everything.
Yeah.
Going to take time, I think, so we can begin.
Let's take 5 more
It
minutes.
depends upon the person.
Sure.
Do try. How receptive is the person to healing? I've seen instant healing take place.
That's why I'm saying let's take 5 minutes.
I'm going to be talking about my story between 1 and 2. This is finding the soul of healing, how spiritual narratives impact health.
Okay, but you know what?
I don't know what room, huh? They're changing the rooms.
They're changing the rooms, yeah, exactly.
It's very fun.
Yeah?
Very, very fun.
And how long have you been doing this?
7 years. But I've been on a spiritual journey for over 20. I've done some 20 healing modalities. Grateful for all of them. The theta healing is wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's so powerful. It's so instantaneous and it's so easy.
And what are the kinds of things one would do theta healing for?
Everything.
Like, for example?
Spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, psychological.
Even
relationships.
physicals?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yeah, I healed my spine. And I was told to get a second spinal surgery. I didn't want to this time. And so spine, thyroid, sinus, asthma, grade 5 allergies, depression. That's me. Everything that got healed. And inexplicable aches and pains for 20 years, for which doctors had no answers. Somebody said fibromyalgia, somebody said something else, but nothing worked except just theta. So powerful. I get kids who are suicidal, I get addictions, people with addictions, relationship problems.
And it gets healed.
Absolutely.
How many sessions does it take?
It depends on you. How ready are you to release the blocks? I haven't been told.
Acha, thank you.
We have a website. You can go to our website.
And how do you train for this?
You have to train under Weiner Style, who's the founder of Theta Healing. So for every practitioner course, you do a teacher's course. Okay, and then we recertify every 4 years. If you don't recertify, you're not allowed to teach. So there are stringent rules, which is good because you have to keep updating your knowledge.
You stay there?
You're learning.
And you do it online?
My daughter studies in Tokyo University.
No, we do a physical.
Oh my God, really? Yeah. She's got a scholarship there.
Yeah.
I've been twice to Japan.
Yeah. I conduct
I've visited quite a bit of Japan and love Japan.
Yeah, I'm teaching.
Oh, okay. I spent the New Year there.
You teach others
this year.
Yeah.
I spent my 2017 at Tokyo Tower behind the temple. What was the temple? Tokyo Tower.
Relationships.
There we went at midnight.
So one technique and it takes care of everything.
We were at midnight and had a lovely time.
It's a very
The Tokyo Tower said we will be using dishes and crackers. This year we are closing a restaurant. What would that be?
Like, could it be quick and is it useful for refrigerators?
Disneyland.
I feel the movie.
And this on Christmas Day I was at Disneyland. So it was wonderful.
Yeah, these are very
nice to have.
Yeah, this is very. It's not just baking; it's backed by quantum physics.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a process, there's a procedure. Because I'm a chronic healing, Karuna Reiki, tarot cards.
So what do you do? You come on some business trip?
Yeah, past
Your business development.
cell regeneration. Yeah, I can just go on.
And all
Art
the
of
things.
living, Buddhist chanting, yoga.
Yes,
Just
and
goes on.
running a
This
company
is
for consulting to the company
of
to enter
every
into Japanese
every-
market.
So you've done
We
some
provide them with the
I know I was wondering where I've seen you because I made a film on it.
find investors, business
There was
partners.
some good
I went there.
company.
Yeah, and you
legal,
know,
accounting, marketing, PL, and results.
these people in
Invoice
No, I did try
for the
these
company
when
who
we
want
were
to go out.
So this is your email?
So, I mean,
And I'm also
So you trained there?
member of
I
the
trained
board of India Center, which is an association for India and
Hi,
You're welcome.
Tokyo and in India.
You come here. So that is how you
know. Where are you? In Tokyo?
In Tokyo.
And what do you do?
I'm running a company for international business development to provide every service for the companies who want to enter into Japanese market or vice versa. Yes, industry.
Dr. Kamil, give a presentation that the thing is connected already with the net. So do you have a...
My son is in Tokyo.
It's already connected.
Yes, so I have the connected. Goldman Sachs? He's in
But there's
Hong
what are they?
Yeah.
Very close to
Yeah, it's very close to, that's what I see. Yeah. Very
Oh,
close
so
to.
okay, do it.
I just met him in
I
love Japan. Beautiful country and beautiful people.
Also, have all ladies there in Tokyo.
Oh, I see.
have to organize something in Tokyo.
Oh, okay.
Is something to move the slide.
What will that be? What is your name?
I'm Pooja.
Nice to meet you, Pooja.
So no point to know.
You're not from Delhi or?
I'm from
full
Delhi.
movement is
Where are you from?
I'm from Bombay. I specialize in face yoga for rehabilitation and beautifying. So typically now because we moved into the medical arena, yes. For stem cells, there has to be a rehabilitation, and since we isolate the facial muscles, that is how the stays coming in. Then for autism, where after the procedure, you want to eat specially, and face yoga. Beautifying of face, the circulation, the oxygenation. So there is a tonality, natural tonality. What do you do?
So I run a company called Shinamics in Bangalore. We partner with companies to diversify their leadership pipeline.
Oh, interesting. Actually, my background is HR. My MBA is in HR, so I've done this. I did this recently, so I quite understand. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm a consultant and an entrepreneur, and I used to distribute
जल्दी दो चार दोस्तों
Are you serious?
what exactly is the product?
What is your project?
The brand Chandra, US product using animal stem cell.
Swiss apple.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. So I definitely. Yeah, I'm really interested in Facebook, Google. Let us know when you're ready to start.
I have a session.
But you know what? It's about your and talk about the spirituality. We can talk about exactly. Don't have a face yoga, but these are
Welcome to this wonderful session. I know why you have come here. So good luck to all of you in discovering with Dr. Prabhu Mishra from STEM Gen. I'll hand over the mic to him, and after this, Minal is also going to speak.
I'm going to speak little this time. Okay.
So good morning everyone, and you all have to age 15 minutes more with me. So let's see, nowadays everyone, so all, because here I'll have to move the slides.
You just shift, please, if you all can shift. If you have any problems, there are vacant chairs, you all can shift here.
So we all heard about these stem cells? Yes or no? I just want to. So what exactly it is? Anyone?
हमने तो सुना in context of cancer.
Okay, very good. Any other?
Cells which are in the umbilical cord, basically, and there are two kinds: omnipotent, pluripotent.
This is one of the type. Okay, anyone? See, from the fertilization to be a young ones, there is a lot many of cells which divide continuously and keeps regenerating. This is some kind of a cells which are stem cells, and that's why termed as a master cells of the body, generic cells of the body. Like, see, some fertilization happen, like ovum and sperm fuses, then blastula, and then further are human beings. So there is something which are responsible for the regeneration of the human body. Like another example I'll quote you, like our hemoglobin. Blood contains hemoglobin have 120 days of shelf life. So after 120 days, it's not finishing off. So it's something which are responsible for this continuous regeneration of that blood. So what is this? There is some kind of progenitor cells which are continuously responsible for regeneration of that kind of cells. So what is this? Then this was the hypothesis in 1960s when first bone marrow transplant have started in Sweden for aplastic anemia. And this was the hypothesis, like if there is something are responsible for continuous regeneration of blood components. So this is how this science has started. Okay, then broadly there is a classifications like embryonic cells, adult stem cells, and after that on their basis of their potency, what kind of it will be like, and what is all about like totipotent, pluripotent, multipotent, then the source of stem cells, what will be like that. Embryonic, okay fine, it's embryo from 2 to 6 stage of embryo, you can get the source. Another came fetal stem cells, you can get from 6 to 16 weeks of the aborted fetus. And then apart from that, because after 16 weeks, organogenesis happened, that is the formation of organs happened. So all cells are adult stem cells, and that adult stem cell source is our bone marrow. Then fat, the most worst in the body is the most potential cells they have. So fat is another source. Then our circulatory bloods, peripheral blood, then dental pulp, cord blood, menstrual blood, these all are the source of stem cells, kind of so. And then on the basis of functionality, another classifications, those who regenerate blood component of our body called hematopoietic, those who are responsible to regenerate our tissue component of body called mesenchymal stem cells, and collectively this science called regenerative medicine, because the principle of that, they repair, restore and regenerate. So now I'll just move very fast because I have a limited time. So I'm not going to elaborate much more the stem cells now. So how in context of aging, how it is responsible. What is aging? Anyone? We all age, or we all heard like anti-aging. Every cream you'll find anti-aging cream, this cream, this. Are we really doing anti-aging?
That's why we're here.
So that's why I'm asking. See, our building blocks, our building blocks made up of the DNA. Their DNA lifespan is 122 years. We are not achieving our vitality even. We are not approaching our optimum age. It's a 122 year we should live. We are not living. I think most aged people in Japan was 118 or 119 years. That's it. Even we are not achieving. So we all are fighting for vitality, and we are talking about anti-aging. Then what exactly it is? Yeah.
Bhishma Pitama in our mythology lived for 4 generations. So that was like, I think, around 200 years.
This is all interpretations. And there is there is a best example of xenograft is a Ganesha. Yes. Like your head is from the elephant and body is from. So this is all like sometimes some spirituality we don't have to comment on that because we all have to respect. But the thing is, apart from that, if we'll talk about there is some like Karna. Karna is the example of like people says induced pluripotent stem cells because induced pluripotent stem cells. Induced pluripotent stem cell is taken from the skin graft, 5 mm of a skin graft from adult, made them through genetic reprogramming to embryonic, and then they can derive any kind of cells. And for this work, Professor Shinya Yamanaka from Japan got Nobel Prize in 2012.
So, could you repeat his name, please?
Professor Shinya Yamanaka. Shinya Yamanaka. And then another best example in Hindu mythology, I'll give you the corpse. It's embryonic stem cells. It was undifferentiated cells and got 100 childs. So these all are the lot many of things can be quoted from Hindu mythology even. And then similarly in the Greek mythology we can quote from like Ambrosia and a lot many of things can be quoted as an example. But what's aging? Aging is somehow like, see, if you'll see this is how the human cycle from the fetus and we runs like that. So there is a persistent decline. And then now I'll talk about, see, aging is what? Persistent decline in the age-specific fitness components of an organism due to internal physiological degenerations. There is a lot many of culprit to do not achieve our own vitality. So what will be that culprit? First of all, how many sleeps? How many of us are eating before 7?
7.
Yeah.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. And what's the sleeping time?
9.
How many? All of us?
11.
No, I sleep at 9.
And how many of hours we are working? 12 hours. Very. So this is how we'll correlate everything. So I'm just skipping these slides. Aging sign and symptoms, because any primary symptoms comes through skin. That's why anti-aging, lot many of us for the skin only. But once the matter is anti-aging or achieving the vitality, it should be an internal rejuvenations. That internal rejuvenations, why? Because there is this, all cells got damaged due to a lot many of things which are responsible for aging. I'll let you in later of my slides. So aging signs are like cells, organ and tissues, heart, body and vessels. Like this is all get to like how heart is, because heart gets thicker. Cells, organ, tissues, how? Because cells become less able to divide. Their division capacity is poor in that case. Similarly, like vital signs is bone, muscle, joints. What is osteoarthritis? Even I think in majorly cases in 1:3 we can say ratio is like is third people have the osteoarthritis after 40s or 50s, like degenerative conditions. So what is this degeneration? This is the aging. This is the aging symptoms. Similarly, like digestive systems, sometimes bloating, irritable bowel, and all. So each and every organ's got like Alzheimer, dementia. These all are the aging disease. This is how we call it. If we are working on that parameters, then it's an anti-aging or revitalization. Then another like eyes and ears, like retinas get thinner, like cataract we said and all. Then skin, nails and hair, like skin is thinner and become less elastic. Sweat glands produce less sweat, nails grow more slowly, and hair gets grey and some no longer grow. So these all are the symptoms of aging. So this is the biology of aging. If you'll see the clock here is 12:05. So I'll let you know what is aging all about, then I'll come on the anti-aging. So first culprit is telomeres. Telomere, see, we all made up of like DNA inside the chromosome, and chromosome one end is telomere, another is methylcapylation. I'm not going to in that details. So telomere lies on the chromosomal end. It's a tiny material. So whenever each and every second it divides, and each further division makes ages. That's it. We are aging due to the telomere. So how to do it? I'll come on further slides. So one culprit is telomere, which are responsible for aging. Like telomere allows cells to divide without losing genes, and each time a cell divides, the telomere gets shorter, and when they got too short, the cells can no longer divide because inactive and sensitive, it dies. So this is what. So without telomere, chromosomes ends could fuse together and cut up the cell's genetic blueprint. So this is all about the basics of that. I'm not going in details. Then another is metabolism. What we do? We need two things: oxygen and food. So it's aging because no one can stop the breathing. The only significance is if we are breathing, we are alive. So this is also role of metabolism is eat food or breathe. So basically, ultimately what? Glucose from food and oxygen from air. So that's how we become energetic. So this is how metabolism is all about energy. So like energy, like it's breathing, circulating blood, eliminating waste, controlling body temperature, contracting muscles, operating the brain and nerves, and every other activity associated with living. So now how metabolism affects it? Because metabolic activities sustain life and metabolic stress, and this is how metabolism is all about energy. So metabolizing food and overeating so creates stress on human body and more stress on the body. So lead to a certain lifespan and serious health problems including cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes and obesity we can say as well. Then another is oxidative stress and free radical damages, and which are it's a cycle, like all of the organs are associated with the oxidative stress. That's why I talked about what kind of food and what's the sleeping time and what's the working hour. This is, we have to correct our lifestyle, what we have adopted. This is the primary thing we have to work to further treating any other alternative medicine treatment. So this is the cycle of oxidative stress which makes a more culprit for the aging. So then no doubt, food, we all like burger, pizzas and everything. So like this is all trans fat, say no to them. So this is the, because it causes inflammation, and inflammation is a basic problem for aging. Then, once we age, our stem cell capacity also is, because ultimately our stem cells reside in the bone marrow, fat, blood. So we are aging, our cells are also aging, or they are in inactive stage. Why stem cells heavy when we do from autologous? We activate it and then we put it back. So our stem cells also got in dormant state, because see, once we got away, we got like belly fat and all. So they are in inactive states. So that's how it works. We'll come on that in later slides. Like stem cells is one of the responsible because our stem cells decline with the age. Then there is some genetic factors, like environmental factors like smoking, pesticides in the food and etc. Some hereditary factors like genotypes, mitochondrial DNA variations, extrinsic and intrinsic damage source, then stochastic factors. So this all makes age faster, like genetic alteration happen due to of the environmental mutation, temperature, different time zone, different biological cycles, and which are responsible for aging in the decline in the particular specific matter, and which leads to metabolic disease like diabetes, obesity, or autoimmunity like ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, irritable bowel syndromes, then neurological disease like dementia, stroke, movement disorders, cancer, and apoptosis or death. So these are the several genetic factors are implicated in aging as follows. So there is a lot many of details. So I'll share the presentation with you people. So I'm not going to each words. So how? So these are the diseases associated with aging. If you'll see like from top to bottom, like depression, insomnia, sleep apnea, movement disorders, hearing loss, myocardial infarction, cardiovascular disease, arthritis, osteoporosis, urinary incontinence, loss of bladder control, glaucoma, cataracts, then brain dementia, Parkinson, Alzheimer. So these all are the diseases associated with aging. So facts about aging, if you'll see like the world will have more people who live to see their 80s or 90s than ever before. The number of people is 80 years or older will have almost quadrupled between 2000 and 2050 to 395 million. So more children will know their grandparents and even their great-grandparents, especially their great-grandmothers. On average, women live 6 to 8 years longer than men. So sometimes we should not culprit our mother-in-law, especially in case of male, because their aging or their disease habit is more important what kind of disease they are carrying. So it definitely affects a child. Like if someone mother-in-law is living more than 80, it means you are coming with a very good progeny.
I don't know how good that knowledge is for us daughter-in-laws.
Then now we are shifting to anti-aging. We talked about aging. So what anti-aging it is? So anti-aging research refers to exclusively to slowing, preventing, or reversing the aging process. So aim is to be like that, but would we be able to control the nature or that inflammation what we are getting? Because see, we cannot control nature because we are human beings. If will we be able to think something like that, even we get some mobile phone? Okay, first thing what we do in morning. How many WhatsApp messages? Yes, yes. This is how it works. Because how have you ever, because your eyes is closed, suddenly you are taking a kind of it's a radiation. Any screen is the radiation that your eyes is closed, you open it and checking it. So your first thing you are going to interact with some kind of radiations which leads to mutation. After mobile era, there is a lot many increase of age-related macular degeneration and retinal pigmentosa. It affects, any radiation affects each and every parts of the body. So there is a lot many of things to correct. Welcome. So first thing we have to, because this is in our hand. Other things is not in our hand. Like we have to control our food as much. We promote green juicing. Green juice is like that. You can cook in your sleep. There is a lot many of things we can practice at our home. Like we promote some naturopathy, like some turmeric with squeezed with lemon and hot water, mix it and simple. Sip it for twice in a day at least. It's the best anti-inflammatory. Just have to put half a spoon of turmeric powder, 1 lemon, squeeze it in a hot water, and just do for 1 month and just do your liver parameter initially. Do 1 month and go for the diagnostic test for 1 month. Your all parameter will be almost normal for the liver. So this is how you can do something.
For everybody?
Everybody, because this is the best, and it's not only for liver. There is a lot many of things can be done with the help of that. Then apart from that, you can choose a lot many of green juicing we promote. Ginger you can add, garlic, because we all fight for selenium. Garlic is the best source of selenium. If we are taking, and selenium is the most immune enhancer. Like any viral disease like Bhatt and all, this all we recommend take selenium as much you can, selenium and garlic is raw garlic, not like even in your food. Raw garlic you can take in the evening and do something.
Brazilian nuts, right? In Brazilian nuts, there is a lot of selenium.
Brazilian nuts.
Yes, there is a lot many of source. I'm talking about one of the source.
Natural.
Yes.
Easy
No,
to get.
you can get it easily there.
Here.
Then, no doubt, regenerative medicine, because why stem cells is the major for regenerating and renew, because their principle is to self-renew the cells. How a stem cell works, it self-renew the damaged cells and tissues. It doesn't work only on the symptoms, it also restores the damaged cells and tissues of the body. So this is the basic principle of regenerative medicines. So I already talked about like stem cell is a generic cell that can make exact copies of itself indefinitely, and it differentiates into specialized cells, and it can make identical copy of cells. So Unique properties of cells, they can proliferate or self-renew, which means they are capable of replenishing themselves for a long period of time by dividing, and they can differentiate into any specialized cells. There is lot many of diseases I have shown you, and lot many of area where stem cells can be used, like from top to bottom. The best indication, like we are working in the infertility, let's say primary cause of infertility is the thin endometrium, Asherman syndrome, poor ovarian reserve. Even we have some PCOS management program. So such kind of disease where stem cells have excellent results, especially apart from non-hematopoietic disease like blood, apart from lymphoma, leukemias, cancers, there is non-hematopoietic disease like infertility, primary causes, thin endometrium, Asherman syndrome, poor ovarian reserve, erectile dysfunction, HOS, non-obstructive HOS, permia. These all are they get very well managed with the help of stem cells. Similarly, apart from that, osteoarthritis up to grade 2 and 3rd, then avascular necrosis, sports injury, like pre-cirrhotic liver or alcoholic cirrhosis. So these all are the area where stem cells have a very good role. Type 2 diabetes, Crohn's disease, because these all are the autoimmune conditions. So these are the area where uses of stem cells. These are the, I already discussed, types of cells, tissue stem cells, embryonic and iPSCs. Then telomere reverse aging. Telomerase is one of them, because telomere runs by the telomerase enzyme. And nowadays even there is a lot many of capsules are available in the market, and there is a lot many of natural source to boost your telomere as well. And there is one capsule available in the market is Telo 100. But apart from that, if you are adding in your diet like some ginseng or like ginkgo biloba, moringa, this all boost. These all are antioxidants like coenzyme Q10 you can add in your diet coenzyme, because this all fights from the oxidative stress. So as minimum will be your oxidative stress, less will be the free radical productions, less will be the inflammation, lower the rate of aging. So these all are the things you should add in your diet. And some holistic approach. No doubt here it's like there are 6 components of wellness. What we said is a proper weight and diet, proper exercise, breaking the smoking habits, control of alcohol. The alcohol, sometimes people ask, okay, can I take some wine? And yes. Well, then we said you can take some resveratrol. What is resveratrol? It's a component of grape juice. So resveratrol, okay, fine. So, but again, alcohol, what should be the ideal dose? See, 35 milligram per 100 ml is almost okay. But people, once we drink like 3-4 glasses or something like that, then this is, of course, it's harmful. So control of alcohol, stress management, and periodic exams.
Wait, so how many ounces is that of wine?
35 ml.
35 ml.
So 35 milligram you will get in 100 ml.
Okay.
So 100 ml. Okay, so
I'm just doing in ounces.
So now you have to choose your glass.
1 ounce. That's ounce.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is the.
That's
Not the one bottle.
1 ounce.
So you don't
Yeah.
want bottle. Yeah.
So fine. So these all are the things, holistic approach you have to add. Like see, in here in India we do have like yoga. So what yoga does, even Minal face yoga. We are working very scientifically on face yoga as well as on the yoga as well. See, yoga is not only a kind of a variant of a exercise or variant alternative of the gym. This is the best cellular oxidation process. Because there is a lot many ways to fight with the inflammation. As much we oxidize of our body, it lowers the rate of inflammation. What is yoga? Basically, yoga is responsible for the cellular oxidations. As much you will do the cellular oxidations, less will be the free radicals, less will be the oxidative stress, less will be the inflammation, it lowers the rate of aging. This is how it works. Like pranayam, we all heard. So, what is exactly the pranayam? Anyone?
Regularizing our breathing pattern.
Anything?
Oxygenation.
See, and its meaning is pran and ayam. Means pran is life, ayam to control, to balance. So how it balance the life? Once we will stop our oxygen, it will be okay, it will balance, or it will be permanently balanced. So it will be, I think, permanently balanced. So that's why it corrects the breathing process. the way we take the breath, is it enough to oxidize our stomach or oxidize our lower organs? So that's why it says forceful inhalation or exhalation. That's why it oxidizes entire process of the body and it lowers the rate of free radicals. So this is another thing. So there is certain message, because now I'm finishing my talk. So I'll give you some kind of messages for anti-aging and stem cells. So when it comes to treating health challenges, explore something new. Then maintain supportive social relationships and to stay active and engaged. Because this is all, once, it depends totally. Anti-aging is nothing, I told you. And we are not achieving our vitality, so we cannot talk about anti-aging. So something we restore our vitality to just elongate the lifespan. So this is what you have to do, you have to maintain, you have to be stress-free. Everything is oxidative stress. So you have to be, so now you have to choose what you are not doing, like volunteer your time, practice your faith, exercise regularly within your ability. It's not like that, my neighbor is going for a gym for 2 hours, I should also go. It depends on your, someone have the osteoarthritis, they cannot run on a treadmill. So this is the way you have to choose along with your ability. So take advantage of social opportunities, because it makes you active, as much you will be functional, as much it will be a vascularization, or sometimes, activeness makes you the more vascularized, and once you will be more vascularized, your aging will be the lower. Similarly, get a good night's sleep. Because even Dalai Lama said sleep is the best meditation. So feed yourself a healthy, nutritious diet. Nurture your relationship with family members. Stretch your mind. And when it comes to treating health challenges, explore something new. So see your primary healthcare provider regularly. Never ignore, if you got okay, fine, our bowel is not controlling, you should take antibiotic or something like that. Prior having any kind of antibiotic, you should definitely explore something. Because if we are disturbing our flora and fauna, we are disturbing many of things. Ultimately, because there is some good boy inside as well, inside the stomach, and some bad guy as well. So it's better always to killing the bad boy, just increase the number of good boy. So if you increase the number of good boy, of course the bad boy will be overwhelmed. So this is what, and then spend time with Mother Nature. So it's your choice what you want to choose in that. So I'll finish your talk itself, because there is not many of things. So this is what you have to choose from this. So this is what all about messages from my side, regenerative medicine and anti-aging. So I'll conclude with that messages. No doubt it works on the restoration of damaged cells and tissues. Just telomere is one of the culprit for aging, so just boost your some kind of antioxidants which supports release your oxidative stress, like some coenzyme Q10. Coenzyme Q10 it increase the cellular oxidation, it increase the oxidative phosphorylation. So once oxidative phosphorylation will increase, more number of ATPs, more activation of mitochondria, will feel more energetic and less inflammations. Then you can increase. You have to take your balanced diet and. No doubt your nutrition, your exercise, so you have to balance the things. That's it. This is all about the aging, because we have to achieve our vitality first. Thank you very much for listening to me, and aging with me for 15 minutes. Thank you.
I think, later, if you like, I could ask them to talk about stem cells and the beauty aspect, because a lot of you had asked me about that. What I'm going to do is, the last 2 days we've been talking about face yoga. I'm just going to walk us through a couple of exercises, and then I'm going to hand my time over to talk. Is that okay? Would you like that? Yeah? Okay. Face yoga is, as we've been saying for the last 2 days, it is increasing circulation. And with circulation, nutrition, oxygenation, and of course vital life force, these three come in a combination: optimal volume of the cell, and that's another reversing aging, right? The exercises, or the universe of face yoga is very vast. It's not just one exercise. There's multiples of exercises. There's multiple of combinations that you can work with, and an expert understands exactly which part needs to be worked how, and they keep on changing. What I mean to say is,
what I'd like you to do is, look, the neck, for example. The neck is one of that part of our body which shows, in most cases, the fastest show of age, right? Because age, stress, and gravity, our muscles are moving. And this chap, the only connection it has to the bone is the back part. So the complex muscle network here looks really groovy, but this guy, it's only attached here. So obviously, it affects the muscle and also the fat pads. And it shows the aging, the sagging movement. Now when you're working on the neck muscle, very simple exercise. Your fingers, place them. If you had a cleft, you'd put it on your cleft, otherwise just place them in the center. And just push outwards while your fingers pushing inwards. Feel the pressure, let go. So press, push outwards, let go. There's a pressure, right? Now the same thing, now I need to it.
Okay, the same thing, I'll take one finger, I'm going to press it underneath, same exercise, and back, and say. And I take two fingers, I put them on 2 points underneath, same exercise, press and back, press and back. Then same exercise, I take 2 fingers, I place it on the side, and I go sideways to the right while I'm pressing.
Which way are you pressing?
I'm pressing inwards always, and I'm pushing outwards. Okay, with my face. See,
how do you push outwards?
It's to, we'll talk about that later. Just try
louder.
to feel. Sorry?
Louder.
I need both my hands.
You can hold it. No voice.
I'll try.
Go in middle then.
Yeah.
Come up in front.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Closer. No, but I don't want to disturb them. Hi, doctor, we've been looking for you. Okay. See, the best we can do, we're going to have, because it's shortage of time, but just feel it. You don't have to be an expert right now. Just feel what I'm saying. The same thing. Say take all the 3 fingers, press them, and push outwards, in, out.
Against the fingers.
Patient, we'll talk later. Just try and push against gravity. That's the way. Whoever can manage, you'd find that in the same exercise, there were different muscles which were getting pushed in. So what I'm trying to say is now the same thing. Stretch up and just stretch. Now stretch, let go. Now stretch up and kiss the ceiling. Oh, I thought you said kiss the ceiling. And let go. Yeah, one more time. Yeah. Stretch and relax. Can you feel you'll be doing a set of neck exercises? Each one is different. Each one is putting pressure somewhere else. Each one has to be played around with. Now when you come with a problem, then you the expert figures out what needs to be done, how much, how less. And it's like repetitions. How much of circulation is getting increased? The tonality is changing. Now after a period of time, once, maybe after a month later, maybe 15 days later, it really depends on how fast your muscles are reacting to the exercises. The exercises will be tweaked, will be changed. So you're working on anti-aging through a rehabilitation technique. And another thing is like here, aging, cheeks, atrophy, sinks in, the fat is moving out, and you have that haggard, punched in cheek look, right? So how do you, get back to those cute rosy cheeks? Typically there are methods which are invasive, but something simple. Just fill in your mouth with air and just breathe 5 times. Relax. We're going to do this again. So fill. Relax. Can you feel that? The same exercise. Fill. Push air from one cheek into the other. Relax. This messes up the lipstick, but I have no other option. You are anti-aging, right? So now the same exercise, but this time smile.
feel it? One basic exercise and see the whole. You know, there's pressure horizontally, there's pressure vertically, there's just pressure around. It's how you play with this pressure. I'm going to give you an example. We had I was telling Dr. Tina earlier in the day, we had a patient who had facial morphia. I didn't know what facial morphia was, so I'm going to explain to you. Maybe, I'm sure some of you do know it, for those who don't. It's, in layman's way, it's like, it's a distortion, it's an autoimmune condition. Nobody knows how and why and whatever, it comes and goes. And it's like, you know, you take an apple, take out the moisture, and it becomes hard, right? There's a deformity. The same way, there's a deformity that sets anyhow. And all we did was to increase circulation and tonality, this simple exercise that we just did. We kept on playing around with water, we kept on playing around with even oil within the mouth. So it's difficult, and after some time, in a very short period of time, not only there was a collagen layering, the muscle tonality had come back, but it was quite funny. The other side, which was the natural side, looked as though there was a problem. So we had to start working on the other side. So, you know, this is just to give you an insight into how rejuvenation can happen, anti-aging, with a standardized scientific methodology.
How many of you are doing Botox and fillers?
What about the eyes?
Well, the eyes also, there are different sets of exercises with one distinct. Now, if you do the Botox, for example, or fillers, you need rehabilitation. And for the eyes, it would be something, it will depend what you're looking at. You know, just looking up simple and trying to squint, pull up the lower eyelid upwards. Or just look up and simple, raise your eyebrows and blink. It takes time. It needs a little practice, and at least need to spend.
It will resurface your periorbital space as well as this crow's feet area.
Yeah.
I have a question. The oil you're talking about oil pulling?
I don't know if that's what you call it. You take
Squish the oil in your mouth.
No. You have to do it with the exercise.
Okay.
This is something that I just developed, and I find that it is to tell you the pressure. You want to talk about the Botox and the stem cell aspect would be, with face yoga. I was going to go into that. So, you know what, we have practitioners in Europe, cold laser or
low laser.
Yeah, the same. Before the treatments, they do like the patients to do face yoga, so that you get the circulation moving. Then they have the therapy, because A, healing, B, the tonality of course, and C, it gives a more natural look post the treatments. So similarly, what we have started to is with stem cell procedures, especially for the facial aspect. I want you to touch on what they can do with stem cells.
See, basically all areas like some people have the sunken eyes, dark circles, or crow's feet, or nasolabial folds, or acne scars, or melasma like hyperpigmentation and all. So we do sometimes, we just take 15-20 ml of the blood, separate the mononuclear cells from that, and then we give the intradermal, subdermal injections on the face. And then we recommend this rehabilitation to enhance the neovascularization and boosting the elastin and collagen. So this is what for face. Similarly, some people require like jaw corrections or lifting the lips and like lips area or nasolabial folds. Then in that case, we take some fat, around 15 to 20 ml of the fat, making the stem cells and giving the intradermal like a filler. So it's not like Botox will last you for 3 months. It will last you for 3 years at least. So it's not a repetition of the things. And Botox is ultimately how it works. It's like it's a botulinum toxin. So it's just close the two nerve ends. So it's just blocking the nerve ends. Here it's a natural thing. It's your own body substance. It will go there and fix and settle down the cells, and it increases the collagen binding capacity and neovascularization as well. So this is how it works. And then we recommend this one, because as much your any part will be functional as much. It will be more vascularization, more vascularity of the blood, and more youthful and more radiant will be your face like that.
I have a question. Why just 3 years? If your body has an innate capacity to produce
It's
stem
like
cells.
we don't have a much more longer studies for face. Like it's 3 years follow up. We do have once we have given the filler and all. Because see, aging. I told you, aging depends on the cellular oxidation as well as the inflammation. So and you have to because skin is the first to appear any signs, either any infections or either anything. So that's why it comes through the skin. So that's why once the matter will come to the glow, radiance, feeling, scars. So skin is prone to of any kind of infection. That's why sometimes anything we don't have much more follow-ups more than 3 years.
So,
Yeah.
a little question. If someone has asthma, that means that he will get old faster than the normal person without asthma?
Any autoimmunity makes you age faster. Any autoimmunity, because I told you. But asthma is again
I have for 26 years. What I'm going to do?
No, the thing is, it's generalized. It's asthma. Any autoimmunity makes the age faster due to of the inflammation. But you have to boost your lung. Basically, you have as much your lung will be less oxidative stress. Your aging will be the slow because you have to feed your body with the oxygen. As much you'll take. Like similarly, see one example I'll give you non-healing ulcer. It's a non-healing ulcer is diabetic one. So sometimes what we give hyperbaric oxygen. That means in a separate container we are giving a lot many of oxygens. So enhanced oxygen making the vascularity very good there. So that's how it supports the cells, it activates the cells, and it releases the free radicals and prevent from the oxidative stress of that particular specific area. Similarly, in cerebral palsy like hypoxia. So in hypoxia, sometimes as much we give the because it's a disease due to of the demyelination happen due to of the either less osmotic pressure due to the lower oxygen supply. So it increased the please.
No. To support yesterday evening, Baba Ramdev's session was there. So he showed us those breathing exercises, which one of those breathing exercises he particularly said will cures asthma.
Truly.
This is what he showed yesterday.
Yeah, breathe in
and out very close.
That's what I told you. I told you about the pranayam. Pranayam have 6 parts in which there is a lot many of things like one is Brahmari is very helpful. Yes. Another is it's only like Bastrika will increase your lung capacity. Bastrika is there is a lot many of formats everyone have. So even if you cannot do anything, Bastrika's best way to do just in the pranayam mudra you have to sit and you have to do the forceful exhalation like. This is the 1 second interval. No, you have to sit in a proper, it's not like that. You can do like this. You have to do in the proper pranayama mudras.
Just releasing through the nose.
Yes, just and it's a forceful exhalation. Apart from that, there is a locking system. Once you are forceful exhale, let's say I can do it. Let's see, I'll show you. Like if you have said like that, see, you have to be in lotus here, and then if you are doing like. Then 30 cycles. This is 30 strokes of 1 cycle, and then you have to lock your this program. You have to look, and just your stomach should be touching your spine. So this is the thing, and the 5 cycles of that forceful exhalation. But once you did the forceful exhalation, you have to feed yourself as well. Then you have to do.
You're in an attack, or you?
No. This is for
every day in the morning.
Me and
Anytime.
yoga
It's not specific like the
practitioners, she will
morning.
explain to you.
Yes.
Just
Do this under guidance.
I have a guidance.
Yeah.
On the stem cell injections into the face, I'm in Washington D.C. and there's very few people that are they're more doing the Botox and the fillers and things like that because that's how you make more money, right? The stem cells that they're doing there that around in Washington, you'll see them. Like if you have a knee problem, they'll start injecting into the knees, and you have all that.
Intra-articular injection.
Yeah, or PCP or PHP, one of the
PRP,
sorry,
yeah.
the plasma, injecting the plasma. Where do you know where in the States that they are, or is it mostly in Europe where they're really doing it for the face? Because that sounds like a better long-term solution.
The best center I found, I'll share my own experience in the Denver is Dr. Teddy Grossman.
Okay. Yeah.
Teddy Grossman is known for as the father of anti-aging.
Yeah.
So Teddy Grossman, you'll find out and his world best book I ever read in the anti-aging is Transcend. So you can read that book. It's Teddy Grossman.
Yeah, I've heard Grossman, but
it's a Kurzweil and Teddy Grossman. The book is Transcend.
Okay, and this is all non-invasive.
All non-invasive, no surgical procedure at all. No.
And the results that you've seen, albeit the fact that they are more natural and they last longer.
Yeah, because stem cells is always treated as like non-regulatory yet, apart from blood-related disorders. So everywhere it promoted like a cell rejuvenation therapy or something like a media spa, anti-aging spa. So this is the concepts now spreading everywhere. Like, okay, fine, we'll not treat the disease person, but we can prevent from lot many of things.
Right.
So it can be prevented from lot many of things. So we named it like a midlife rejuvenations. Midlife rejuvenation, like extension of the menopause, even we do the cosmetic gynecology is upcoming area, like aesthetic gynecology, like urinary incontinence is a major challenge. So urinary incontinence, female sexual dysfunction. Similarly, these all are the indications we are coming like a challenge, and it's working quite well because it's simple. We can do from the blood or either through the laser based. There is nothing like you have to go for the lung labiaplasty and other things. There is a lot many of non-invasive surgical, the non-invasive procedure are coming to increase these things.
So you said Transcend is by Dr. Grossman?
Yes, there is a lot many of anti-aging you can have a fun with. Like one is Bombshell by Suzanne Sommer. It's a fabulous book I ever. It's a really bombshell. The book name is Bombshell. Bombshell.
Bombshell.
Yeah, Bombshell by Suzanne Sommer.
That did really well.
Yes, and she's a breast cancer survivor. She have gone through the steps and a lot many of things she does. Then another fabulous book is Ageless. Then another book you can read of Suzanne is Sexy Forever. So Suzanne Sommer, S-O-M-M.
She looks fantastic for her age. Oh my God.
You cannot. She's 72 now, but she's looking like a 45. Just do the Google. Yes.
Yeah, she's
operations and Botox, nothing.
See, Botox. She never promoted Botox. We all promoting the all natural things. We are see. What was in India, like the medical science came with Ayurvedic. Ayurvedic was chosen like what? Because it's more, this species is more close to human beings. That's why Ayurvedic medicine came. Now, even we are doing the autologous adult stem cells, it's closest to your body. This is your own cells. You can pamper your body from your own things. You can take your own fat, one worst thing that is a fat, and you can rejuvenate anything in your body. Any more questions?
One more.
Yeah.
Very simple. You had this chicken breast as part of the food. Yes. How about chicken legs?
Chicken legs is a fat. I'll never recommend.
There was a particular reason, so no chicken.
Ideally, you should have a less chicken. Like in week, it's recommended around 80 milligrams.
Oh my God. Why is it so bad? What does chicken do? Like why?
It converts into trans fat. See, there is a lot many of things on diet. If you talk about diet, there is a lot many of things. Nowadays, new fashion came everywhere across the world is ketogenic diet. We all know.
So what do you think of
No carbohydrates, right?
Yes, that's right. But see,
minimal carbs.
Even in ketogenic means no carbs. No carbs. How it is possible?
Yes,
but even most of the people are practicing for type 2 diabetes patient. But what if patient will go to ketoacidosis? What you will do in that case? So this is the thing. See, ultimately you have do whatever. Even if you want to take high carbs, like it all depends how you are starting your morning. We are used to okay, fine. Just wake up. We got a bed tea or coffee, something like that. You have to break this habit. Once your first habit is a tea, that is you are prone to okay. This is simply killing you. It's a silent killer. So you have to break this habit first.
What do you? I was just gonna say.
I told you that either you can take a green tea, or I told you just boil a water. Okay, just half a spoon of turmeric powder and squeeze a lemon and sip it. Because see, ultimately what liver does, it detox our body. So once we are resting for 10 hours or 8 hours of the sleep, this all plaque is with the liver or other accessories organ. Once we are taking any sweet material first, like tea or something, it's going to our metabolic activity, and we have to metabolize that plug it again, and that plug is going to stick everywhere across the body.
So what to eat in the morning besides green tea? Like what
Besides
to eat?
green tea, I told you that if nothing, then eat simple hot water. That's it.
No,
Simply.
this is not food.
Well, you can eat like food. If you are talking about after that, you have to plan according to your choice. Some people like so, but it's a high fat. First diet should be like a little bit of a high fat because you have to survive whole day. I always recommend high fat as the first diet. You can have some cheese, it's okay, but fine. But after 7, I doesn't recommend even be hungry. That's always have a tomato soup. Even in tomato soup, if you'll find in India, tomato soup means you'll add it with many of spice to things. Tomato soup, we have to add pepper, this. Soup means soup. That's a simple boiled soup. It doesn't mean you have to add many of things. Then it doesn't a soup. It's a vegetables.
What do you recommend to do as we age? Our metabolism slows down, which you talked about. What are some things that we can do to increase our metabolism as we age?
See, I told you, like you have to see. It's a particular specific. It's a very specific as for the per individual to individual. We have to see their hormonal parts. We have to choose their all micro trace elements, micronutrients. This is the all parameters and can be made a customized program for every individual. But as general, I told you some anti-inflammatory substance you can add. Lower the carbs as much you can. There is a lot many of there is another challenge, like most of the people do recommend red meat. Sometimes because there is a new concept came like sometimes we require this LDL in a good quantity. Sometimes some bad boy is also working with Dr. This is the expertise of Dr. Dina. I'm talking about that. But the thing is, ultimately we have to have some good boy like HDL increase. So we have to keep our fat and something. So this is a kind of like you have to personalize the things. Like it's a fat, then you have to protein ratio you can keep almost equal. Fat and the carbs. This should be a rationale to much more metabolizing activities. So lower the carbs always recommended. And this is I'm totally against like brown rice, this white rice. Any rice if you are taking either starch-free, even white rice, you can just do throw this starch. It works quite well. So it's simply marketing like a brown rice, green rice, red rice, and this is all the things gimmicks.
And also whole bread. No, this is better than the white bread, I guess.
See, nowadays, even telling you, there is some, we do have some business aspects as well. I'm telling you very frankly, even now gluten-free is another concept here. Gluten-free. There is nature has given lot many of things. Yeah.
And
dairy, because vegan.
What is it?
There is a third category came in US or everywhere is vegan. Yes, vegan because and they're now spiritual or ritual. What's the connection? Because this is what we are taking from their part. Because cows are supposed to feed their child, and we are eating their part. So that's why we should not eat any milk. Ultimately, it's a skim product. It's not coming from that cow and buffaloes. It's coming. So this is all the things. We will not comment on that. But
is gluten good for us?
No, not at all. Gluten is not good because it causes inflammation and it irritates your bowel as well. Yes, but like in India, yeah. You're asking something?
Sorry?
You're asking something about gluten?
No, I'm just saying that gluten is not evil at all. It's like if you don't have the enzyme to digest gluten, okay, it's dangerous. But if you
everything we have in our body, but ultimately gluten also causes the inflammation too. Because now it depends, you are resistant to of that and you are going good with that. But ideally if we are talking about recommendation of gluten, because we all take breaks. So gluten we are taking indirectly and directly or indirectly. So we cannot avoid at all. But there is lot many of things here, even nowadays, like even in India, I don't know what you guys are telling, but in India we got ragi. So ragi is 100% gluten free. It's no gluten at all, and there is
Wheat
anyways, wheat is a modified grain, right?
Yeah.
It is not a natural, like ragi and bajra, they are
These all are the
natural grains.
Natural.
But wheat is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, so you do recommend going for
You,
one thing you just mentioned, turmeric and lemon. But the curcumin cannot be digested in your body without black pepper.
you can
Is that true?
It's not like that, but that's why we are adding with the ascorbic acid. So it's not like that. It's
So
not,
if you put lemon, you don't need to put pepper.
nothing.
And those, to your point, that obviously we're in the microwave age that everybody's talking about, but they have the tea bags that are already made with the turmeric and black pepper and ginger. Are those
Basil's leaf and
but would those still work just as well if you don't have, if you're like on the go? Would those work as well, or they're not? They're just completely crap.
See, it depends.
Is that a no? That's a no.
See, even telling you
But it's best to
this is endless subject. This is endless subject. My boss was telling me, Prabhu, you're a huge traveler. You're always in the flight. Why you are not increasing your vitamin C? I'm squeezing 20 lemons a day and I'm taking.
Okay, so for example, everyone, this is my tea packet. It's called so the Rishi Taste Tube. Okay, right? And if I'm traveling, I'll bring this. Is this okay?
What is this?
Right.
It's
here. It's just we get it.
So because they are giving logic, because you are traveling in flight, it's a closed one, no air outlets. So there is a lot many of contagious patients. So you should have some vitamin C 1000 milligrams or 500 milligrams before going to board, because you are protecting your immunity. So these all are the things. This is a broad subjects. Anti-aging, I told you in a one-liner, we are fighting for vitality, not for aging. So thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to all the speakers and the audience. It was a lovely session, so we can have a group photo. Can we have a group photo? Please come in.
Hey, Maggie, can you come? We missed you. We'd like
You can this.
Ginger, turmeric, black pepper.
Let's all of you.
You know what I did?
And you also coming?
Yes.
Excellent.
Nice to see you.
Dog, we can have a chant actually.
Why not? Yeah, come in front.
Please wait.
She attended the entire session.
Of course, she was supposed to speak with us, but a little delayed. Otherwise,
But we can very well continue with the speaking.
we've been speaking last 3 days, so we're very happy.
That's fun.
Yes.
So, Rajesh.
Smile. The youthful smile.
Smart.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have to clearly get more.
Now,
and you are here all because none of you wants pain. And here we have the wonderful speakers, Candice and Saraswati Shankaran. Ma'am, please will you come here, or you can sit there wherever you want. We are going to begin the session with Candice. And I hand over the mic without wasting any time because I know you will be having n number of questions after the session. So Candice, welcome on the stage.
So I need some applause. Come on, y'all. Let me hear you. We need energy in the room because I see all your energy. Welcome. You know, because at the end of the day, there's so much going on here, and you could have been anywhere, but you're here. So give yourself a round of applause for just being here in the house. I am Candice Camille, known as the wellologist. Something you're probably like, what the heck is a wellologist? It's something I made up simply because I decided I didn't want to be called a coach. And that's what you do when it's to you. You fit into what you want for you. So today we're going to talk about a few things: pain, pleasure, perception, right? So we're going to get started of it because there's some P-power that's going to go on in here today. So just by a show of hands, how many of you went to pee this morning? Right? Thank you. How many of you thought about peeing? Right? It's not something you think about. But where did y'all go just now? Right? Your mind generally goes where you take it. So I'm not talking about really peeing. I'm talking about your perception in the morning. How you thinking. How your mind has the ability to take your thought process from here to here, just like that in 16 seconds. See, my P power is the power of perception. What do you think when you get up in the morning? Do you perceive your day to be in pain, or do you perceive it to be in pleasure? So today, we're going to talk about some P power. So I came all the way from the United States to be here in New Delhi to pee all over you. Because that's what we're going to do. But see, we're going to talk about some practices, right? We're going to talk about some preparation. I want you to take notice of these P's. So we got some preparation, we got some practices, and we got some processes. See, because in order to change anything in your life, you got to prepare for some stuff. It just don't happen. You have to get up, make a decision to say, you know what? I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to feel tired. I don't want to feel sad. Whatever that is, to switch it to the pleasurable part, that I'm going to feel absolutely amazing today. You get to decide. So everybody repeat after me. Every day, in every way, I feel amazing. Yes, it goes like this every day in every way. I feel amazing. Yes, you can take your feeling that you want in there. It's a mantra that I say every day because you have to call what you want so it can come to you. So when you put out into the universe what you want, I want amazing every day, every minute of every day. You get to decide. Right? So that's how that works. Everything that you want is out there for you, but you got to take some action and you got to go and get it. So before I really get into what is it that you have to prepare for, right? What is it that you have to practice? Because we were taught that practice brings what? Practice makes perfect. Yeah, you know that's not right, right? And that ain't true. Practice brings progress. The more you practice something, the better you get out of it. The more progress it becomes. What I say, practice makes permanent. The more you practice something, it becomes a permanent part of your life. Anybody want some permanent wellness in their life? Yeah. Yeah. So you got to practice this thing. It's not something that you do. Wellness is a state of mind. It is not something that you do. It's who you become. I am well. You get to decide to think well and be well now, not yesterday, not tomorrow, right now, so it can swing into your future. That's how that works. And then there's the process. You know, we talk about processes. You know, it's a process. I'm going to get to it one day. I'm going to do it on Monday. Tony Robbins say the road to someday is no day. Like, we just won't get it done. Right? So anybody do that? I'm going to do it on Monday. I'm going to start on Monday. You know, you can raise your hand high. We're going to start on Monday. And that's what we do. And Monday never comes. Monday absolutely never comes. And then we get to the next Monday. And then we get to the next Monday. And before you know it, we're not feeling well. I'm tired. I'm just tired of being tired. Has anybody ever said that to themselves? I'm just tired of being tired. I want to do something different. But what have you done? Nothing. So nothing is going to happen if you don't do something. If you want to change the way you feel, it's something that you have to do. There's some action that has to be taken in order for things to change. So if you want to change your ilky feeling, right, you got to do something. What do you think you have to do to change the way you feel? Anybody?
Change the state of mind.
And how do you change your state of mind?
I say I just go into the way I want to feel rather than be in the state that I am.
Okay, so that's your thought. What else has to be done?
Take action.
Put some action. You got to move. Movement does not occur until you move. So if you do not move, nothing changes. So if you want to change your state, you got to move your butt. That's just how that goes. That's just how that goes. You have to get up and you have to move. You know? So before I go on, can I tell you a little bit about me so you can know where I'm coming from? Well, today I am CEO of Pure Euphoria Wellness Boutique, Candice, Camille Enterprises, partner in Willpower Gym. So, and I am also the creator of the Plain Talk Challenge. It was a movement created to bring about change in 1 minute. You got a minute? Yeah. Because it only takes one to change the trajectory of your well-being. But that's today. 27 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, ACC. I had assisted adenoid carcinoma, which is throat cancer. Right? In that moment, they told me that I was going to die if I didn't do a surgery, if they didn't cut my larynx out, if I didn't do a trach. My background is pulmonary medicine, so I was already working in the hospital taking care of trach patients. I was assistant director at a pulmonary care facility. So I knew what a trach looked like, I knew what it was like, and it was something I didn't want. So I decided to die on that day, that I did not want that. I did not want that for my family, for my kids. You know, I had a husband, I have 2 kids. I have a daughter that's 42, and I have a son that's 38. Yes, I said 42. Wait a minute. Now, I had that chick when I was 2. Let me just be clear. That's my disclaimer. That is my disclaimer. And besides, that's what Dr. Oz told me. I was recently on Dr. Oz, and we did this thing of aging gracefully, and they did this test, and they told me I was 41. So I get a kick out of telling my daughter, look, chick, I'm younger than you, according to Dr. Oz. You know, but I am the new 60. What? Yes, I am. And so can you. In the new 70s. See, because you get to decide. So even way back then, some of the things about your life challenges that you go through, you don't have to stay in that event. You get to leave it there, you get to take what's good, and then you get to move on. See, we waddle in events in our life that keep us from springboarding forward. You know, you got to look at it and say, so what? I was abused as a child. So what? I was molested. So what? I was raped. You look in there and you see what's good about it. And even all of those setbacks that I went through set me up for the biggest comeback of my life, and that was kicking cancer's ass. That's just how it's done. See, because you got to fight for your life. You have to fall in love with the process of being well. And that's what I did. So when I talk about when they told me I was going to die, and, as women, I went home and said, okay, my husband was like, have you lost your mind? No, I'd rather be dead than to have this burden on you and the kids. I need you to move on. Because of working in the hospital, it says you have to take care of me. You're there. You lose your life. I saw families fall apart. I didn't want my family to fall apart. I didn't want my children to be in this. But as women, we have the right to change our mind, right? So I changed my mind. I no longer wanted to die. So I went through the chemo. I went through the radiation. None of that stuff worked. Right? So I was sicker and sicker. At the time, I was 215 pounds. I probably went down to 89 pounds. With it. Today I believe we have Ensure. Back then it was Sustacal that I had to drink. Nothing would stay down. It was awful. I was debilitated after that for about 2 years. In the bed, not being able to move. Have somebody come and clean me. Have somebody wash me, feed me. All of that. Right? So again, and on one night I just decided I had enough. And I talked to God. Like, all I want for you is to take me where you are. Number one, I didn't want to go to hell, so I had to have this conversation. I need to go where you are and take care of my family. In Jesus' name, amen. I woke up the next morning realizing that, God didn't give me what I want because I was still alive in a whole lot of pain. But what he did give me was the feeling of movement. On that day, I moved on my own and fell on the floor. It hurt so bad. But see, you got to understand, there was no movement by myself for 2 years after that. So when I prayed that night for strength and to be able to get up and move, that's what he gave me. I fell on the floor. I was able to crawl, something that did not happen. And one of the things as I was on the floor, I remember what Martin Luther King says, if you can't fly, you gotta run. If you can't run, you gotta walk. And if you can't walk, you gotta crawl. Because sometimes life has the ability to knock you down. But laying down here is not an option. You have got to get back up. That's how that goes. So if I can get down here at 60 and pop right back up, anybody can get down and pop right back up. You just have to make the decision, number one, to get it done. So do you? Are you important enough to yourself? See, because a lot of times we're working on our businesses, we're working on building our bank, and all of that stuff that we forget about ourselves. We're going to get to it later. But here's what I know for sure. You cannot master your business or your bank without mastering your body. You will just be in the seesaw of life. So you have to decide, what is it that you want? Do you want to be well? Do you want to release weight? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to be sexy? Like, what is it that you want? You have to be very, very clear when you start the preparation, right? When you start the preparation to making your paradigm shift, you have to be clear to what you want. Because here's what I know for sure. If you don't know what you want and you don't know where you're going, you're going to settle for what you find. So you have to know what it is that you want out of life. You have to know if you want to be well. That day that I said the prayer and landed on that floor, I wanted to be well, but I didn't want to take pills for the rest of my life. See, I'm this chick that rather take 2 stairs than 2 pills. I don't want to take pills. There's a better way, my choice, and I had to find what that way was. So here's what I found. In preparing to live, I found 4 things that you absolutely must do in order to be well. Y'all ready for this? Because I need your pens. Y'all sitting here in the front. Come on, open up for me. I need you to write. Are you with me here? Yeah. So you got to eat well. That's number 1, right? You got to move well. You got to sleep well. And you got to breathe well. And then that's this thing called education. You got to find out what else is it, something that you can do. you got to start reading. I read 1.5 million books about the body. All I had was time laying on my back, so if you came to see me, I'm like, bring me a book on the body, because I couldn't get out. So I wanted to learn how the body worked. What did it do? How did it function? Right? So I learned 2 things. What do you think the 2 things are that you absolutely must do for the body in order for it to function at optimum level? Anybody?
Eat and sleep well.
Come on now.
Accept it and
Yes.
love it.
Yes. All of that. But what I found, 2 things that makes the body stronger. And that's what you eat, that's how you move, and what you believe. If you can believe that you're going to be well, it's going to happen. But you just can't lay there in your belief, right? You got to get up and do something. So what are you willing to get up and do? You got to find your thing. Y'all know that thing. It's on the deep down on the inside of you. That's there. It's like the old gas stoves, and again, I age myself as we do this. Y'all know the old gas stoves that you turn the thing on, and it just goes click, 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 but nothing lights up. It just goes click, 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 nothing lights up, right? And sometimes you just got to throw a match on it to make it go boom. That's what you have to do in your life. Sometimes you have to throw a match on you to make it go boom. That's how that works for you. But in order to do that, you have to fall in love with yourself. You know, you have to be the priority. Not put you on your priority list, because that's what we do. No. You have to be the priority in your life. Because after all, nothing works without you, right? So even as I was preparing, I knew that if I wanted to be well, that I had to be the priority in my life unapologetically. You know, I love testosterone, I love men, because they're different than us. We're worried about them women, we're worried about the family, we're worried about what we're going to do, and everything. But the guys just get it done. We have to get it done. And you have to get it done for you, because after all, we women, we are the heads in the house. We decide what we're going to eat, we decide how we're going to sleep, what drinks are in our house, and everything, correct? So we are in charge of our wellness. You know, I tell a lot of my clients that I work with, you can't look like $1 million eating off a dollar menu. It does not work like that. It does not work like that. Again, you have to define what is it that you want. So can anybody tell me, what do you want? What do you want different in your life?
Me?
Yes.
I want to be free from pain of cluster headaches.
And what are you going to do about it?
Well, unfortunately, there's no cure. I am a very positive person. I'm a very strong person, and I try to ignore it. But I have attacks every single night disrupting my sleep, and it's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is. So you have laid in it.
There's no cure for cluster headaches, and if you go online and research it, there is no cure. And there's a cure for cancer, but there's no cure for cluster headaches.
But there's a cure for the way that you think, and that's what you have to change.
I'm a very strong personality. Anybody who knows me, see this award I'm getting? I am extremely strong.
Well, good.
And I go out there. But the problem is, as positive as I am, and I eat well, and I exercise, and I do everything you're talking about, and I go to sleep at night, and boom, 1 o'clock in the morning, the headache attacks, and it's the trigeminal nerve, and there's nothing that can be done.
Well, if you reside in that and you know that, then that's where you sit. And I have to agree with you on that. If you know and you know that you're doing the right thing, that's exactly what you do. But again, the power of positive thinking and know that I'm not going to have this for the rest of my life. Same thing with my cancer. I said I'm not going to have it. When I change my mind, I do what's necessary so it'll never attack my body again. So if the same thing, some things is just not in your control. And that's what it is. Some things are not in your control, but for the things that's in your control, you do something about it. So I prepare to be well. I practice this thing called life. You know, I get up every day and I exercise. I eat well. I sleep well. I move. I make it a priority. See, you have to be the priority in your life. That's what it is. A lot of the times, entrepreneurs, we're it. You have to find your thing. My 1 + 1 don't equal your 2. So you have to find your formula strategically for you. I'm a runner. You know, like I said, I crawled 27 years ago. Now I run 26 miles because I choose to and I like it. You have to find the thing that you want that's going to make you happy. You know, you hear a lot, I don't like to exercise. I don't want to. You just have to find what's good for you. Right? So what do you think is the 3 biggest excuses is why we don't move, why we don't exercise?
I don't have time.
Time.
Just other things, other priorities.
Priorities, what else?
Inertia.
Inertia. Yes. But most of the time it's time, money, and sweat. Those are the 3 biggest excuses is why we don't work out. And as an African American woman, it's all about our hair. You know, because it takes a lot to get it in order and to be cute. So to work out every day and sweat it out, the things that we have to do, nah, it takes some work. So those are the 3 biggest excuses. But sometimes you got to get out of your excuse bag and figure out what's important to you. And then you have to practice this thing. But you have to find the thing that you need to practice. What is that for you? Is it hula hooping? Is it jumping rope? Like, what is it? Is it just walking? Like, what is it for you? That's what you have to do. I found my thing. I hula hoop every day. I plank every day. And I run every day. So you have to find 3 things that you can do every day. As a personal trainer, I can tell you 3 exercises you should do every day. Anybody know what they are? Stretch. What else? So 3 things that you should do every day that will touch every muscle in your body. And that's planking. It touches 6 of them. It's squatting. It's push-ups. Whether it's modified, off the wall, or however you want to do it, you will touch every muscle in your body. It takes 8 minutes a day. You got a minute, right? So you can do that anywhere, anytime. Since I've been here in New Delhi, I've worked out every day, did those 8 minutes. And that's all you have to do. You know, they got stairs here. You know, I even went outside and ran this morning. I'll find me a field to run in. You know, so you have to find what you need no matter where you go. And then you just have to fall in love with the process and know that it's not an overnight thing, right? We didn't get like this overnight, so this ain't gonna change overnight. When I was a size 20, I didn't get like that overnight. It took me 18 months to go from a 20 to a size 4. So it's like you figure out what you want to do, and you have to stay the course. Let me say that again. You have to stay the course. It just don't happen like that. You have to want it, you have to do it, and you have to work in it. But most importantly, you have to believe that you can do it, if that's what you want. So how many in here want to release some weight? Right? So half the room went up. What are you willing to do about it? So that's what it is. What's your plan? What's your end game is that you want to release weight. What's your game plan? And how you going to play in it? So what you're willing to do to lose weight? What are you willing to sacrifice? Because even in preparing, you have to sacrifice some stuff. As women, we keep throwing things on and on and on and on and on, right? But we never want to take anything off. We keep doing it, we keep doing it, we keep doing it, we keep doing it, we keep doing it. But we don't take anything off. And at the end of the day, what do we wind up taking off? Ourselves. We'll get to it. You got to keep you in your equation. If you're not in your equation called your life, it will never balance out. It will never balance out. And a lot of times we'll say, I talk to my clients and I'll say, well, what happened? It was like life just came in. And I say to them, how do you let your life take you out of your life? See, because you have to stay in this game. It's a game of you called life no matter what. If you are important to you, if your family is important to you, you will do what's necessary for you to be well. See, I'm well simply because I am in love with me. And I want to be well for my family. I want to be well for the community. I want to be well just so I can be here to teach you what it looks like. All you have to do is make a decision to say, I want it. And then you have to have an action plan. What's your plan? At the end of the day, on my refrigerator is my end game. I see it every single day. So I play in my game every day, and that's what you have to do. So if you want to make you the priority, you have to make up your mind. See, because the mind is the master power, and we are mind. It molds, it makes. It takes the tools of thought. Oh my God, I done messed up the quote right here. Let me try that again. This is by James Allen. But it's like the mind is the mastermind. The mind is the master power. And evermore, we are mind. It takes the tools of thought, the shaping what we will. It brings forth 1,000 joys, 1,000 ills. We think secret, and it comes to pass. Our mind is our looking glass. What you think about, you bring about. Your inner picture determines your outer world. So if you want to be well, today, you have to think about it. You have to think well. You have to be well. The power is in your hands. Thank you.
Thank you, Candice. That was on the dot. And now we have Saraswati Shankaran here. I'll give you the mic here, ma'am.
Can I sit and talk?
Yeah,
of course. Thank you. I can stand also, but still I take the liberty. Now, it almost seems my presentation will be a sequence to what my colleague has spoken. Wonderful. And if you feel any similarity, I think what I would like to talk about is, life is a major challenge. And please wait, don't look at it. Look at me now. How do we change the negative events that take place in our life to positive events? That's going to be my story. Now, lot of talk mentioned about empowerment. I would like to tell you, I'm recalling that memory, an 8-year-old girl living in a village in Tamil Nadu was deeply interested in education. And she was attending a school next door. It's a village with a thatched partition. So she could go to the school next door, then come back. And she was a very bright child. And the maths master, once he said, "Oh, this is a good problem. All of you should get the right answer. Those who get the right answer, I give them the permission to knock on the head of the person who has given the wrong answer." Fortunately or unfortunately, this girl was sitting next to a boy. Buddhu. So this girl was so bright, she got the answer like that. And with the permission of the master, she gave a knock on the head of the boy sitting next to her who could not. And it became news. They said, how could a girl knock on the head of the boy? The master didn't acknowledge, just let go. And the girl was stopped from attending the school the next day. And how do I relate it to empowerment? This girl was not put off. I think she must have heard the speaker. What she did was, she was not allowed to go to the class, but she made a hole in the thatched partition. And she could just sit and watch the blackboard, whatever the master said, and she wrote it on sand. Can you believe it? And that child, I found as my grandmother, one of the most learned persons, self-learning and empowered. She could educate lots of children, nieces, nephews, and the neighbor children and all that. And because of unavailability or accessibility and affordability, she could not buy ink for them. She prepared ink at home and educated them all. Fantastic person. I wish I could get all her genes, and that's what, a bit of it is what is helping me and also her speech. Now, you please follow the chronological order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now first, year 1970, in Bombay, the doctors removed a disc from my spine. In fact, I got a doubt whether they removed the disc from my spine or from my brain. I asked them, they said, no, we have not touched your brain, so you be happy. So, and they wanted to do another spinal operation. There was no end to it. I said, doctor, just give me a certificate that I'm well enough to work. So from the negative of spinal operation, I could start my welfare counseling in multinationals in Bombay. And that was the starting point for me. As luck would have it, few years later, I got a very rare ailment called scleroderma. Has anyone here heard about scleroderma? Not scleroderma. They are two cousins. I have learned all about that. Scleroderma can be fatal at the earliest. Not scleroderma. Scleroderma is a very rare condition, rarer than scleroderma, and only one doctor in Chennai, who was the dean of Madras Medical, diagnosed it. Many doctors could not. And what was the condition? I was going very stiff from hip above, and I could not turn. I was turning like an elephant. My arms had become stiff. The reason being a jelly formation in the subcutaneous tissues between the muscle layer and the skin layer. A lot of people wanted to come and see me because of the rare condition. So much so, in a hospital where I was taking physiotherapy, the physiotherapist was relating that he had also treated a horse, a winning horse, and he found the wrong leg was being treated for the race horse by the vets, and he could treat it properly, and the race was on. So I asked the physiotherapist, compared to the horse, I think my skin, which had become hard, is it softer? He said, no, yours is harder. I said, you mean my skin is harder than the horse skin? Then I asked him, so which animal do you think would be comparable with my skin? Anyone has a suggestion?
Rhino.
Yes. My God. That was a shock to me. So when I went to the hospital, a battalion of youngsters, researchers and all doctors had come out to receive me, a research case of Rhino Mommy. They called me Rhino Auntie. That's okay. It was fun. And I struggled, steroids and physiotherapy, name it, whatever. But the attitude was positive. And therefore, I did not deter from getting a PhD in sociology from Bombay University. In fact, I wouldn't look at myself because then it will be, I didn't want to sympathize with me at all. I wanted to go ahead. But there were others who were sympathetic, and that was not helping me. I wanted to be normal, as any person with a handicap would like to be considered. And that was, I think, the go signal for me, PhD in sociology. That's scleroderma days. And just on the lighter side, one of the very, very senior doctors who had even consulted, was a consultant for Pandit Nehruji. He came and he said, I would like to see this scleroderma case. And my poor father and uncle, they introduced us, and they were in another room. In one room, he was examining me. And very few men are here, so I don't mind sharing this with you. The condition was that my breast had become flat. There was nothing on the back. So I explained to Dr. So-and-so, what is happening? According to the physics rule, matter cannot disappear. Where could my breast have gone? neither front nor back. Am I changing sex? He was hard of hearing. So he wanted me to repeat it a couple of times. And then he said, no, you're not changing sex. It will come back. He was right. I got it back. And so with that condition, manageable condition, I had gone to Tanzania. I thought I could just take up some assignment, defer my postdoctoral fellowship in NIH to do primary prevention program development for young people. But that was the time when I witnessed AIDS in Tanzania. And my specialization in sociology was lifestyle analysis. I was shocked. There was a queue of patients standing in front of Unimili Hospital, and I was teaching at the University of Dar es Salaam as a senior faculty. Then honorary sociologist, I became the hospital. Without knowing Swahili, they gave me an interpreter. But again, that Shakti was unleashed. I said, this condition I could expect in India also. But that year, 85, when I made a presentation at Marseille, the African colleagues of mine, they said, Sankaran, don't worry, it will not come to India. You be here, we need a sociologist. Then I said, what difference is there in the lifestyle? It's the same everywhere. And I am concerned. So I dropped my postdoctoral dream in NIH, said actions speak louder than academics. So I returned to India and was advocating safe lifestyle. But then as luck would have it, in the year 86, somebody mentioned neuralgia. It's one of the most painful conditions. And the doctor who diagnosed, he said, Saraswati, are you okay? Because a few patients have committed suicide. I said, sir, I may enable you to do that, but I won't do it. It cannot happen. We have to march ahead. And with that, I did one of the most wonderful projects that came my way. Interviewed, how many of you have come across Paramacharya, Shankaracharya, and on what? On keratoplasty. As a sociologist, Dr. Badri of Sankar Netralaya had asked me to do a study. He said, please don't talk to Paramacharya about death, because he believed that he was divine. I had not met him, I did not know. I said, then why do you spend your hospital money on me? I am a researcher. He said, no, you please go and see. But I had, with the help of a Pandit, identified one slogan, because in those days, they thought that eye donation was not encouraged in Hindu mythology. I said, it's not possible. It's allowed in Buddhism, it's allowed in Christianity, and many religions are passive everywhere. I had interviewed even Palkiwala on that. But I cannot understand that this wonderful concept will not be allowed in the Hindu mythology. But I was right. In Ramayana, Kaikeyi, you know this, so was asking Dasharatha, why do you make such a lot of fuss to send your son Rama to the forest? He said, I can't. Then she says, your ancestor, King Alarka, you know what he did? Alarka chachushi datwa jagama gatim uttamam. King Alarka was donating, and there was a blind man at the end of the day asking for alms. And Raja King asked him, what do you want from me? The blind man said, what would a blind man want? I want vision. And King Alarka took his knife, sword, plucked his eyes and gave, and attained moksha. That is, he reached heaven. So what does it mean? It's not discouraged. So when I asked Paramacharya, he said, Ramayana is pramanam. You're doing good work. So that was enough for me. So keratoplasty department was started at the hospital. It's going very well. And Dr. Badri and I have been friends on that. I have done many projects, but that was mind-boggling. an eye-opener because I had interviewed the beggars also. There was a long queue of beggars. I said, Madam, why do you ask us about death and all that in the early morning? I said, no, not what do you think about eye donation. Anyway, jokes apart. With that, when I realized that AIDS was not far off from Indian conditions, in 91, we founded, my husband and I, Deepam Education Society for Health, and advocacy for safe lifestyle started then. And WHO always talked about IEC, Information, Education, and Communication. I thought, if you inform me, you're also educating me. And when I communicate with you, can you all hear me?
Yes.
When I communicate with you, IEC is over. But I won't have changed my behavior because you have informed me, educated me, communicated with me, but you have not made me empowered. And you have not made me accountable either. So, empowerment and accountability are very, very important, vital, and it should follow information immediately. And then it should not stop there. It should end up in collective action, community action. So, in Desh, our magic mantra, as my team calls it, is not IEC, it's IAEACA, Information Awareness, Empowerment with Accountability, and Collective Action. That's IAEACA. It's 25 years old, 26th year running. It's still the magic mantra. And in 92, I realized the public ignorance regarding AIDS. So again, Shakti unleashed. Every negative event, unleash the Shakti in you. It becomes positive. And as UNICEF consultant, I was asked to bring about AIDS profile in Tamil Nadu, AIDS resource directory, and knowledge, attitude, and practices research design. Is the time up? No, you are standing up. No, that's why.
I wanted to change the slide.
So yeah. So that was the beginning of my successful AIDS control days. And we had to change it. I'll tell you why. Next.
See, that's why I came.
Thank you. Now, again, please go for 7 to 12. 7, adolescents ignorant of life risk. It was so then, it's even worse now. So 93 to 96, Shakti unleashed to do what? To address the adolescents. So school age education with UNICEF in 404 schools, Sebemo, Netherlands in 800 schools, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, US in 260 schools in 6 cities, South and Maharashtra, 6 cities, and we had premier institutions to evaluate the program, very positive. Then 8, working like this, I met with a road accident. And yes, I had to make it positive. Hip surgery, and my third leg started accompanying me, walking stick. That was 94. But with that, I had interviewed and invited the then very, very popular and active finance minister, union finance minister. So what we did was the social aspect of AIDS and the action plan through an industrial seminar. The captains of industries had come. They did not know what the relevance of AIDS was at the workplace. It is highly relevant. And inaugurated by Dr. Manmohan Singh, he also inaugurated our interactive voice response system. Then we brought out vulnerability of organized sector. He asked a number of questions, and I'm glad to say that I was able to answer, including, why are the workers so vulnerable? I said, because of you. He was the finance minister. He said, me, what did I do? I said, you're giving them the pay packet, not the education. If you educate them, they will know what to do, how to get the best out of the pay packet. You are just giving them the pay packet without the guidance. Anyway, then in 9th segment, we found that the women weak and abused, 96 to 2004, we were after their reproductive and child health. The reason being, when you talk about RCH, they start personalizing. when you talk about AIDS, they feel that it is alien, it's nothing to do with them. That was a myth. So we had to make them relate to themselves. So we became a mother NGO for reproductive and child health by Government of India. Then empowerment of women, the program started. At Harvard and at Emory, we made presentations. 97, I was a moderator at Arlington for female condom, research to marketplace. It was a fabulous study that we did in Chennai. Then 2002, you won't believe it, I did at Global Health Conference, Washington. And I needed a partner. Today also, Dr. Harbin said that I could present it at 9 p.m. I needed a husband, temporary. My real husband was in Chennai then. I was there. And I got one. It's a very simple thing, very simple training. Then he, on the D-Day, he said, Shankran, I can't, I'm running temperature. So I had to hire somebody because he should have the brown complexion. Otherwise I cannot present an Indian scenario. And then what he did was, I got somebody, but in front of the audience, I said, if acting as my husband for 10-15 minutes, this man developed high fever, can you imagine a real husband of mine for the last 40 years staying with me? So he has not got that weakness anyway. So that was in 2002, mine at Global Health Conference. Then we presented a dance ballet on AIDS, youth and women several times, but the most fruitful one was when we presented it at Delhi in front of Mr. Bill Gates. He loved it. And he shook hands with all the youth, boys that we had got from, boys and girls, we had got from Chennai, urban backward settlements, all the way to Delhi to present the play, ballet. He shook hands with them all. Then those boys and girls, on the way back by train, they refused to wash their hands. They said, we have got the touch of the richest man in the world, so we do not want to wash our hands. Anyway, jokes apart, that was till 2004. 2009, I was a proud mother of 3 successful achievers, 2 boys and a girl. An economist, a conservationist, that second son was an ornithologist, and the daughter, also successful. I mean, really, each one had a different field of specialization. And this boy, at a young age, he became a director of a famous institute on conservation. And he died of a sudden heart attack when we were there the same night because his daughter was celebrating her 5th birthday next day. He just came absolutely fit, with the fittest in the family. He died of a sudden fatal heart attack. And all the doctors who came to condole, they said it's because of tobacco smoking. And they told me something shocking, that at their clinic, 90% of the young heart attacks were all from tobacco use. I asked the doctors, what do you do about it? They said, what can we do? It's either the government job or the tobacco manufacturer should do something. I said, can't you make some noise about it so that the youth don't start? I mean, later on if they start, that's nothing to do with us. But at least in the beginning, he said, no, we cannot. So that became a big challenge for me. So from that negative event, what we have done is prevention of tobacco use and abuse. I presented at Yale University a mental vaccination and thinking tool on tobacco use and abuse. One very, very senior official, I forget her name, from the government department, she was going through and she said, I love this concept. Where did you get this concept from? Till then I had not personalized it. And she told me, when I shared my pain, she said, no. See, in US, many of us, we personalize, and that makes a tremendous impact if that is what you want to do. So then Subsequently at Adelaide, I did personalize. And I did also a study there, because we had limited funds. 25 young heart attacks we got the address from in and around. Out of 25 young heart attacks from the register, 22 were eligible because it was the age, reproductive age, and the boys. We did not want to include the girls for that study. Out of 22, 21 were tobacco smokers. That was the cost. The family said that otherwise they were completely okay. Now, so that has become a goal for us, preventing tobacco through mental vaccination and thinking tool for life skills. Then, 2010, his wife and child were put up in a boarding school so that they won't feel so depressed. When they were commuting, they got off at Kadapa station, then took a taxi, known taxi to the school. A heavy vehicle driver in an intoxicated state hit them on the road, and on the spot, this taxi driver, my daughter-in-law, and the lovely grandchild of 6 years old died. So what happened then? That was negative, very, very painful, most painful event. It's so easy for me to sit in a corner and grieve, but I have to change it to something positive, at least for the gain of the community. We started advocacy prevention of alcohol use and abuse and drunken driving. Nimans has got out shocking figures of drunken driving. What do we do about it? So then the next was 2016. I've had, that is last year, a total hip replacement. I was in the hospital, and that's when I signed the contract with a major donor for addressing the school youth on prevention of tobacco, alcohol, and drugs in about 1,000 schools. And we are doing it. It's become a big drive for us, and we are doing it from negative to positive. It is possible. I agree, totally agree with my friend here. It should be possible. It should be our mindset. So now I'll just show you one slide. I don't know how many of you are familiar with MADD, M-A-D-D, Mothers Against Drunken Driving. A cousin of mine said, you are doing so much, I will put you on link it to MADD. MADD had sent a slide, Voices of Victims. So then this is my slide. Shall I read it? Can you read it?
Yeah. I, as a grandmother, joyfully witnessed the birth of my grandchild, and also watched her grow up into a lovely child reciting poems and dancing with happiness. While preparing to celebrate her 5th birthday, shockingly and tragically, I had to witness the death of the child's father, a healthy man of 45 years, who suffered a sudden and fatal heart attack due to smoking tobacco, as confirmed by the doctors. The child, who adored her father, held my hand and in a heart-rending way said, "Today is my birthday and my father's death day." Oh my God. Even more tragically, just a year later, I had to witness the death of this grandchild and also her mother, who were both killed in a hit-and-run road accident caused by a heavy vehicle driver in a drunken state.
Stop such untimely young deaths. Say no to tobacco, alcohol, and drugs.
Anyone has any questions? We have 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, I think
So
we
we
get
get
Thank you, Candice and Dr. Shankaran. That was wonderful session on turning pain into gain at every turn of life. So there can't be any more story better than this. Can we have a group photo, please?
Yeah.
Very, very, very
Go ahead. Smile, I say. Come.
Sure.
Just.
It's okay.
Am I the only one smiling?
Smiling.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. You girls must ask me, ma'am, how did you get your breast back? No patch of work. Real, genuine.
Great. Great.
That's right.
Yeah.
Speakers का फोटो अलग से only the speakers.
Better.